out skating a little bit, and then she's like, I just want to go play in the garage. I'm like, no, you gotta go skate. Like, can't just play, be hockey. I guess we can, but I think it doesn't matter anymore what you're gonna be doing. Yeah, you think about my oldest, we're dancing 4 nights a week. It's 4 nights a weekend job. But the nice thing about that is there's only like basically 4 competitions, 1 home one and then 3 away.
The Flyer Athletic Boosters is a nonprofit organization of parents, faculty, and community members that are dedicated to supporting quality youth athletic programs. Since 2004, FAB has proudly donated more than $500,000 to various youth and varsity programs. Help us to ensure the continued success of Little Falls youth and varsity athletic programs. Become a FAB member today. For more information, go to our website, flyerathleticboosters.com. Go Flyers!
And a very good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls, where tonight it's boys high school hockey as the 11th ranked Little Falls Flyers in the latest Let's Play Hockey Class A poll with a record of 11-7-2 take on the 15th ranked Luverne Cardinals in the latest Let's Play Hockey Class A poll with a record of 16-2-1. Hello everyone, James Hershey with you. Glad to be with you once again for Flyer Hockey tonight here on Flyer Media Productions. Once again, Karen Warner, Mark Teal, and the student body behind the scenes. And joining me in the booth tonight is not Jamie Pettit, but it is the number 20 all-time scorer in the state of Minnesota. Nope, just kidding.
Yeah.
In Little Falls history, that being Wesley Witashik. Wesley, thanks so much for joining me. And more importantly, the arena manager here, because you've got a lot of talk about the arena.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure being up here with you.
Let's talk about these two teams, but first of all, let's talk about the Flyers. You get a chance to see them a lot, and I kind of want your opinion tonight. I want you to take off the rose-colored glasses and be a little honest about it. But let's talk about the game last night. Unfortunately, a 7-5 loss, and it's a back-to-back losses in the section, which definitely hurts the Little Falls Flyers come seeding time. The Flyers last night had leads of 2-0, 3-1, and 4-2. They surrendered that and eventually lost the game on an empty netter at the end. Yep. Your comments, I guess, about how this team has been playing as of late.
You know, I think from inside perspective, right, I get to see these guys pretty often. Every day I get to watch practice, and I'm not saying I watch every minute of practice, but I think this team has just got to find a way to become consistent, right? You get a couple games where they look really, really good, and they really look like the 11th ranked team in the state, and then there's other games where you're kind of questioning, hey, where are the guys that were here last night, right? And I think last night was a good example of that. They got production out of the second line finally, right? Derek Young and Gendro and Majurley, but they were missing the production from that top line. And when your best players aren't your best players, it's tough to win these hockey games.
Of course, you were a player for the Flyers and also a coach for the Flyers. We'll put the coach hat on right now. After a game like that last night, and unfortunately with the leads multiple times and eventually giving up and losing, I guess, how do you approach this game tonight?
Well, you know, knowing Joey, and him and I are real close friends, and we talk game theory a lot together. He's just going to come in that locker room tonight and tell the guys, like, hey, you tried to do it your way yesterday, it didn't work. We're going to do it my way and see what the outcome is. Because when it comes down to hockey is, you know, a lot of times us coaches, we have an idea, and what our ideas are based off factual evidence that we have, right? Hey, we know we're good when we do these 4 or 5 things. And kids sometimes lose those sights. Hey, I want to try to score, or I want to do something special, and they get away from the actual theory of, hey, here's how we play the game the right way. And then as coaches, you kind of get to break it down watching film going, I don't tell you to do that. Why are we doing this, right? And then we kind of get to come back and go, guys, here's how this is going to work. You're going to do it my way, or you're not going to play, or I'm going to play this guy instead of you. So I think tonight you're going to see a different game from them. They're going to probably be a little bit more structured. You're going to have guys playing the way that Joey wants them to play and his staff, and it'll hopefully be a different outcome.
All right, and speaking of Joey Hanowski, here's that interview I had with him before the game tonight. I'm now joined with the head hockey coach of Little Falls Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski. We are back at home, our final game of January, 13 games this month. And that last game is here against Luverne. We'll get to that in just a moment, but let's recap the game last night at Richmond against River Lakes. A 7-5 loss, and you had the lead not once, not twice, but 3 times, 2-goal leads, and unfortunately you gave that up and eventually lost. You've had about 20 hours to digest that. Your comments about the game last night.
Yeah, just an unfortunate night to have 5 or 6 kids maybe play one of the worst games I've seen in the last couple of years. So unfortunate, but hats off to River Lakes. They played great. They played exactly how they had to play to beat us. And, hats off to them. Big section win for them. Their kids stepped up to the moment, and our kids didn't.
So the question is, if you had so many guys play poorly, how do you correct that one day later?
Well, we'll figure out tonight. We're going to shake some things up with who's starting and all that stuff. And just made a comment that we got to get back to the way we play where we're fast and physical. I think, to be honest, last probably week, 10 days maybe, we haven't played our game and being physical and just being lazy. I think we got a little complacent. So, it's an unfortunate loss and a section loss, but maybe it's the wake-up call we needed.
Of course, Jamie not here tonight to do the broadcast with me, but he's been adamant about this 13 games, and you made it. You made it through 13 games with not only weather issues, but I guess the question that I have for you is, how much of a toll did these 13 games take on your team when it especially maybe just comes to being tired?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a factor. I think it's a factor even for the coaching staff, right? It's a long month. Tomorrow will be our first having Saturday and Sunday off in a long time. I think we've had since the first week in January. I think we've been having Saturday games. So it's a grind. But at the same time, I think you've got to fight through it, right? There's going to be adversity. It's good. It's a good learning moment this month in the sense of you got to know how to play when you're tired. So you're not always going to have your best legs, but you still got to find a way to win.
We don't want to necessarily blame the losses this week on being tired, because the Cathedral game, one puck the other way and you guys are the winners and maybe playing for the 2 seed. But you have to believe that as the season, or I guess the month went on, you started maybe to see some different trends, some things that maybe are not characteristic of this team.
Yeah, a little bit. And I just think, to be honest, sometimes it happens either way, right? If you have a week off, you might see those tendencies of rust or not getting in rhythm, which we saw early in the season. But yeah, for sure, you see kids that I think are just going through the motions, like another game, maybe didn't understand quite the magnitude of this week. But yeah, there's definitely reasons. But yeah, that wouldn't be the reason for last night.
All right, positivity from last night, your second line, wow, they came to play.
Yeah, that was, I thought our second, third line did well. I think they carried the load for us when our first line didn't want to go. So hats off to them, and it was unfortunate that they had a great night on the stat sheet and it was in a loss.
How much confidence does that give you as a coach now to realize that, you had 4 goals on that second line, that you have no problem putting those guys out at any time whatsoever, especially now when you get close to the grind here of the postseason?
Yeah, it's huge, especially with probably going on the road, at least for the semis if you make it there. You're going to have to throw those guys out and just whatever line they want to match with it. But we knew it was there, right? I think it was that group was a little snake bitten for a couple weeks. And it's just nice to see that we have 2 lines that can put the puck in the net.
A little off night for Isaac Collis, but like we've talked about, Superman does have kryptonite every once in a while, and that was it last night.
Yeah, and that's why he's going in again tonight. I didn't want him to have to sit on that night till Tuesday. I don't think that would have helped him. Sometimes, you got to get thrown right back into the net so you can forget about it. So he's a really mature kid. He's handled it really well, and I would expect him to have a big night tonight for us.
All right, well, he's going to have a big night. 125 goals your opponent has scored this year. Now, yes, some of the competition maybe is a little bit more subpar from what your conference or for that matter, games are, but still they're putting the puck in the net.
Yeah, and that's something you really can't teach. That's just got to come a little bit natural for kids, and we've already had that in our team meeting. It doesn't matter who you play. If you average 6 goals a game, you're a heck of a hockey team. And I think I always say with Luverne, they have to play who they have to play just because of the travel and who's around them. But they're a team that you can see now they're coming up to play us tonight in Northern Lakes. They were in the St. Cloud tournament, so. Like I said, this is going to be a really good hockey game tonight, hopefully, if we come to play, and they're very, very offensive.
We talked about the importance of the games on Tuesday and Thursday for the section, but I think this is equally as important, maybe more important now that you've lost those 2 games earlier this week in multiple ways. 1, you need to get back on the winning track, and 2, I think you also need to maybe start telling the critics, hey, we had maybe a hiccup of a week, but we're still a good hockey team, and we should be the 4th seed in the section.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's we kind of said the voting's out of our hands until we build a resume up these last 5 games, and hopefully it starts tonight. It's not going to be easy tonight, 3rd game of the week, and a really good team coming in, but you're absolutely right. If we want any chance to, heck, even be considered for a 3 or 4 seed, you got to start winning some of these games and building it out so we can go into those seeding meetings saying we have X amount of number of wins against ranked opponents.
All right, keys to the game tonight against Luverne. What do you need to do to get back in the win column?
Get back to Flyer hockey, special teams, and then we want to just go. That's the biggest thing for me. Just go. That can be the third key of the game tonight. Is your coach shouldn't be yelling at you to move your feet on the bench. That should just be ingrained with us at this game 20 now. So those are the 3 for me tonight.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Once again, that's the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. That is Joey Hanowski. And thanks to Joey Hanowski. And, of course, you had a chance to listen to that interview. I guess, what are your comments from some of the comments that he made and even the questions that I brought to you as we started this broadcast?
Well, I like how he said you're going to see a fast, simple, physical hockey team, right? I talked in my intro here, like, you got to go back to what made you successful, and you think back to the games that they've been successful in, like the Orono game, like they were physical, right? Established a forecheck, all those things that do the little dirty things that are going to get you good quality chances. So I like that comment. I also like the fact that Collis is going again tonight, right? You know, a lot of people probably say, oh, he's probably tired. He's seen a lot of pucks. He's seen a lot of shots. Yeah, I think some of that has somewhat to do with it, but it's also his mental space too. Is you got to understand that, you know, you have a tough night. You want to kind of get back on the horse.
Yeah, speaking of shots, 685 shots he's faced, 635 saves. Pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a lot of rubber.
Real good. A lot of rubber, and he does a good job.
Let's talk about the other team, the Luverne Cardinals, as they are ranked 15th in the state, come with a record of 16-2-1, and they are led by first-year head coach, at least first year for this year, being Tony Sandbold. I talked to Tony a little bit before the game. He was 11 years, it sounded like, in the girls program, and prior to that he was actually 4 or 5 years with the boys program, so now he's back with the boys program again, and he's got another good hockey team here tonight in Luverne. We were chatting a little bit about it's difficult for Luverne necessarily to schedule games on geography where they are in the state of Minnesota, but they wanted to come up here for this one and the Northern Lakes game to get some good quality games in.
Yeah, you know, being 4 hours away from most people, it's really tough to get those games and quality games. So they kind of have to play who they got to play. But obviously they're scoring 6 goals a game, and they got a couple guys that are real good hockey players. So it'll be a good night.
Yeah, one of those guys is Maddox Damagala. Damagala coming in with 52 points, 24 goals, 28 assists, and right behind him is his line mate Landon Lace. Lace with 19 goals, 31 assists for 50 points. And they even lost a couple of players. They lost one player to one of the, I think it was the Power team from Sioux Falls.
Yep.
That was on the team last year that we saw here.
Yep.
And, of course, last year, these two teams met on a game on January 26th, and Little Falls Flyers won that game by a score of 6-5. It had to go to overtime before the game winner was scored in overtime by Garrett Lindberg with less than 3 minutes left to go in the game. In that game, just looking at some of the stats really quickly for the Flyers, Joey Walensky had a goal and an assist. It was a 3-point night for Ryan Olthout with 3 assists. And also in the game that's currently playing now for the Flyers, Bo Majorly also had an assist in that game. All right, let's take a look at the starting netminders. First of all, for the Luverne Cardinals, in net will be the junior Gavin Hoven. Gavin on the season is 12-2-1, has a goals against of 2.36 and a save percentage of 91.4, and he has 3 shutouts. Once again, that is Gavin Hoven, the junior for the Cardinals. On the other side for the Little Falls Flyers, we've been talking about him, and of course, lots of shots his way, that being Isaac Collis. He's 11-6-2, has a goals against of 2.58, save percentage of 92.7 coming into the contest. Of course, he's got stuck on 39 wins right now in his career, looking for win number 40 tonight. And of course, he has 5 career shutouts. Still hasn't had that first shutout yet this year. It's going to be tough to get one tonight.
Yes.
All right, let's take a break. We'll have the national anthem coming up next year. The Little Falls Flyers trying to get back in the win column as they've lost 2 this week. They'd like to end the season in January with a win. They'll take on Luverne Cardinals, which Luverne right now probably pretty secured to be the number 1 seed in their section in Section 3A.
Yeah, you know, that section's got an interesting dynamic to it, right? There's a couple teams that are real strong, and then there's a couple that you kind of question mark, you know, looking at the comparison through the state. But Luverne's a good hockey team.
Yeah, we'll look at the Luverne numbers here while we have just a second. As you look at their schedule, and so far their record against above 500 teams this year, they've played 9 games, 6 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. When they've played below 500 teams, they've had 10 games. They are 10-0. So this will be a little bit more of a battle. Of course, they did lose earlier this year to Monticello 6-0 and lost to Cloquet by a score of 4-1. Those are the 2 losses that they have on the season. And their 1 tie was against Waseca. That was the first matchup against Waseca. The second time they avenged that tie with a win. The puck is down. We're underway with high school hockey tonight here on Flyer Media Productions. And as Coach Joey Hanowski mentions, he's going to start the 3rd line out there. So you've got Liam Toma also out there with Brady Dick and Tyler Rakowski. On the defense side, you've got Alex Toma and Kyler Schmidgall. Back at center ice now, played by Luverne in their own end. In front of their netminder, Hoven. It'll be picked up here by Harquist. He'll play it back here to Jackson Lace. We'll get our first line change as coming out. Looks like going to be that 2nd line for the Flyers. That being Derek Young, along with Lucas Gendro and Bo Majurley. Those 3 had 4 goals last night in the 7-5 loss to River Lakes. This is Young who scored a goal. Here's a backhand attempt towards the netminder, Majurley, and that one just went off the side of the net. Bouncing puck goes over the defensive stick, Avery, and played back now. This is Chisholm moving it up now. On the tape here of Gendro. Shot there, and that's sticked out by Hoven into the corner. Trying to clear it out of the zone of the Cardinals. This is Young with it. Now intercepted there by Bork, and he'll play it out to neutral. Moved ahead here by Schlosser. And that shot blocked nicely there by Toma. Out to center it comes, picked up here by Derek Young, and he dumps it in. And a hit there by, that was Gunnerman, and looks like he hurt himself more than he hurt Young.
Yeah.
Young's a big kid, so you better put a lot of beef behind him if you're going to hit him. Coming in here is Ryan Othout with a shot on net. And the save made there by Hoven. Puck behind the net here by Othout once again. Othout in the corner. He'll get it back now to Schmidgall. Schmidgall with a shot. That one missed. Keeping it at the point, this is Toma. Alex Toma now. Centers it. Quick shot there. Taking that by Mason Othout. And the save made by Hoven. Picked back up here by Toma once again. He'll center it across and play it out to center ice by Bork all the way down. And we're going to get our icing call here with 14:46. Let's take a look at the lines for the Flyers. Centering tonight, that first line, Ryan Othout. On the right wing, Mason Othout. On the left wing, Joey Walensky. On the second line, the center is Derek Young. On the right wing, Lucas Jorgensen. On the left wing is Bo Majurley. And the third line is centered by Brady Dick. On the right wing, you've got Liam Toma. On the left wing, you've got Tyler Rakowski. Puck plays back out to center ice. Dumped in here by the Flyers. Able to keep it in is Rakowski on the wall. Rakowski now centers it out in front, is on the doorstep there. He had Dick, just couldn't get a handle on that one. In the corner now, Rakowski with it. Rakowski trying to center it back here to Dick, gets it back to Rakowski. Puck is in the blue paint area. Lots of sticks going after it. Puck stays in here by Avery, and he plays it down deep once again. Flyers have had good offensive pressure here in the opening 3 minutes of this hockey game, and they've outshot the Cardinals 3-0. Out to center ice it comes. This is Avery back at his own end. Plays it over to Chisholm. He's got a lot of room to skate. Here comes Chisholm across the line. A little wrist shot. That one knocked down there by Lace and played back out to center. Now be Walensky firing it off the back wall. Picked up there by Miller. He'll play it to the line, not out of the zone, though, as Little Falls able to keep it in deep to the right of the netminder, Hoven. Intercepted now by Mason Othout. and then taken away there by Damagala, and he'll play it out to center. Schmidgall right in front of his own netminder. Collis fans on the first outlet attempt. Gets it along the boards. Mason Othout helping out, and now it'll be Alex Toma. Rink-wide pass to Ryan Othout. Othout drops it off here for Walensky. Back to Ryan Othout in the circle. That didn't connect. Luverne now in the corner. Bumped up there as the player goes down. That player being Wiesman. Back to the left point it comes now here to Schmidgall. He'll play it to Ryan Othout. Othout now to Mason Othout. Mason Othout tied up a player in the corner, as that's Wiesman. And the puck comes out on the stick here, Blake Sauer, and he'll play it out to center and back into the Flyer zone. 12:48 to go here in the first, no score. Here's Damagala with an opportunity and sends that one through the crease and just wide, as the really first good scoring chance here for Luverne. Played in the corner now by the Flyers, trying to move it ahead here. As it plays by Damagala, comes in, fires a shot, first save there by Collis, and he had to get the left pad out just in time. Back to center now. This is Ryan Othout trying to weave his way through three Cardinals, unable to do so. And he'll go off on a change as Lace will pick up the puck, gives it back to Harquist. Harquist went wide, and that'll be icing coming up here as they tried for the home run stretch pass with 12:10 to go here in the first. No score.
You mentioned it earlier. The forecheck right now for the Flyers is great. The only thing that I would like to see is get more shots, get some opportunities. There's a lot of perimeter stuff along the walls, a lot of board play. Not getting too many quality scoring opportunities.
Face-off one here by the Cardinals. Once again, they try a rink cross pass, intercepted by Chisholm. Chisholm coming in now, and it'll be taken away here by Gunnerman. Moved ahead on the left wing side is Bork. Bork gets into the circle, fires a shot, and that one didn't miss by much. Held in at the right point there by Lace. Taken away by Gendro and played out to center ice. Dump back in, the Cardinals have to touch up. This will be Young with it. He'll play it to Gendro as it was touched there. Now Miller with it. He'll dump it back down into the Flyer zone. First to get there will be Chisholm. Avoids the check there of Schlosser. And back the other way come Little Falls as Gendro sends that one too far. An icing coming up here with 11:21 to go. Taking a look at the lines for Luverne tonight. The center is Landon Lace. On the right wing is Blake Sauer. On the left wing is Maddox Damagala. On that second center is Alex Schlosser. On the right side, you've got Blake Bork. On the left side, you've got Levi Gunnerman. And the third line, the center, that is Marcus Fortherms. On the right wing, you've got Brody Gimbel. And on the left wing is Will Bergman. Dumped in here by the Flyers and Leon Toma. First to be touched there by Rakowski. Now comes to Dick in the circle. He'll play it back behind, and Toma will go into the corner and try to retrieve it. It's intercepted there by Vormerth, and he'll play it out to center ice. Picked back up here now by Toma, and it goes up off the glove of the netminder Hoven, and then just lodges itself on the top of the net and stays there. Up here now by
that shot right there is the reason why I say you got to get pucks to the net.
Toma,
right?
and it goes up.
You never know when a puck's going to go in. Goalies are tough. It's a weird thing, but it's a great shot by Toma, just dumping that in on net and seeing what happens.
Well, Hoven's played 756 minutes and has faced 409 shots. As we talked about on the other side, that's almost 300 shot difference.
Yeah, less. Yeah,
less exactly that Collis has faced. And you're seeing right now, and I think we're seeing this a little bit early on, that Little Falls just has a little bit more speed than Luverne right now.
I would agree with that. The top line for Luverne here is they got a couple guys that can scoop, but outside of that, they're kind of big and they look a little bit slower than Little Falls.
This is that first line with Lace, Sauer, and Damagala. Held in at the left point, shot there by Hardquist. Stick save there, and out to center it comes. And then we're going to get a whistle here as an offside as Blake Sauer was taken to the ice. And the faceoff come outside the zone. With 10:25 to go here in the first, shots 4-3 in favor of the Flyers. Landon Lace can't win the draws. The Flyers can descend. Here you go. Ryan Othout, he's got a winger, fires a shot, he scores! And Ryan Othout didn't light the lamp yesterday, had an assist, but he lights the lamp here and gives the Flyers a 1-0 lead.
That play is all started with a nice little area pass by Mason Olthout. They win the draw. Joey does a great job winning the draw. Gets it over to Avery, and Olthout knows he's going to take a hit. Just a soft area pass, create the 2-on-1, and great low glove shot by Olthout.
So Ryan Othout picks up his 16th of the season and gives the Flyers a 1-0 lead.
Number 22, Ryan Olthout. Assist to number 19, Mason Olthout. And number 14, Luke Avery. Time of the goal, 6:43. Ryan Olthout.
Back the other way, an opportunity now for Luverne as that goes over the cage and just wide. Back to the point it comes now, held in here by Miller. Shot on net, and the save made there by Collis. And he will hold on with 9:53 to go in the first. The Flyers, as Jamie likes to say, gets the icebreaker tonight. Got to do it for him.
Yep.
As you see, the original pass from Avery gets it up there to Mason Othout, and then Ryan Othout gets some water bottle action and has his 16th of the season in a 1-0 lead. Little Falls back in their own zone. Ooh, a big high hit there on Kyler Schmidgall, as that was near the helmet area. Of course, there is a size difference there, but boy, that didn't look pretty.
Looked like point of contact with the kid's hip. That's the only thing that the size difference there kind of makes it look a little bit worse. But
Kyler's head did snap back there as he was kind of going backwards, but no call here. And the faceoff down in the Luverne end. I have a former player, I have a former coach, I have an arena manager, and I have probably the best thing I have an official here to keep me calm tonight, right?
Yep,
that's the best part. It'll be the best broadcast of the year probably because you're on board. You'll keep me in check, right?
I'll keep you in check.
All right. All your official buddies will be happy about that, won't they?
Yes, yeah. You won't be the topic of conversation tonight.
You will be tonight, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I want to keep some heat off of me every once in a while if I can. Down to 9:05 to go here in the first. The Little Falls Flyers with a 1-0 lead, and now an opportunity down low. That was Rakowski, held in at the point by Avery. Shot taken there, and Hoven makes the save. Chisholm able to keep it in. Plays it down to Rakowski. Now here's Liam Toma, overskates it, gets it back though. Toma now to Rakowski, back to Liam Toma. Goes off the side of the net, and it'll be picked up here by Jackson Lace, and he'll play it to the line, but can't get it out of the zone. As Liam Toma plays it in, now Dick doing a good job trying to keep it in, and the next line coming out here for the Flyers is going to be that top line. At center ice now moving in, this is Lace. He's spun around at the blue line. Picked up here now by Damagawa. Damagawa, nice little move. Now quick shot towards the net. That one goes wide. And back the other way comes Ryan Othout with a head of steam. Othout across the line. Ryan trying to center it to Walensky. It's intercepted there by the Cardinals. Back the other way. Here's Damagawa, right wing side. Avery coming back, and it'll go behind the net. It almost looked like, did Collis get hit by a stick? On the helmet there?
Maybe.
He might have got hit by the stick coming by there, possibly a Damagawa. We'll look back at a replay there. I don't know if we're going to be able to get that, but boy, it almost looked like he took a stick to the top of the head. Back out to center ice now. Come the Cardinals. Move it ahead. This is Lace. This is Landon Lace. He's in a foot battle in the corner there now with Toma. Alex Toma lost the handle. Back to the right point it comes now. This is Wiesman with his shot knocked down in front there by Ryan Othout. And it'll be picked up here by Walensky. 7:25 to go here in the opening period and a 1-0 lead for Little Falls. Loose puck picked up here by Bork. He'll dump it in. Back there to get it first will be Chisholm. He'll play it now over to Alex Toma. Majorly now gets it up to Othout. Ryan Othout drops it off here. Walensky shot there, and that goes off the glove of Hoven. Back to center ice it comes. Moved ahead here by Schmidgall as he took a hit there at center ice there from Gunnerman. And the Cardinals rink-wide pass now picked up here by Bork. He'll dump it in. Going after and getting it first will be Lace, trying to send it out now. A quick shot knocked down in front there by Majorly. Is that coming off the stick of Hartquist? Loose puck now, nobody controlling it down in the Flyer zone, and finally it'll be Young back the other way. Derek Young comes across the line, Had it knocked off, now plays it in deep. Behind the net, that is Gendro. Trying to center a pass to Young, and Young puts a big hit there on Hartquist on the end wall. 6:20 to go here in the first. Flyers lead 1-0. This is Bork now. Comes across the line, and that will just graze below the ceiling here as play will continue. Now up on the dasher. This is Avery behind his own net. Starts it out to Gendro. Gendro now, he'll dump it in deep. Back to the wall, picked up there first by Jackson Lace, sends it around and played out to center ice here by the Cardinals. Moved ahead here now, Chisholm. Chisholm comes across the line, potential 3-on-2 here. Chisholm with a little nifty shot there, and Hoven makes the save. Now on the half wall, briefly touched there by Chisholm, and the Cardinals play it back down into the Flyers zone. Haven't had a lot of whistles in this period, Wesley, as it's been a lot of play back and forth.
Yeah, which is a good thing for Little Falls. I think they can take the advantage of that.
Back to the right point it comes now. Here's Wiesman. He'll play it into the corner. Sent around here by Chisholm. On the tape here of Liam Toma. Moves it ahead now to Avery. Avery got tied up there by Vortherms. And Vortherms moves it ahead. Now it's Chisholm back to center. And he'll dump it in. 5 minutes to go here in the first. And Little Falls with a 1-0 lead on the Ryan Othout goal, his 16th of the season. Shot from the left point. That was knocked down in front there by Vortherms. And out to center it comes. Dump back in by Toma. First to get back there this time, this is Wiesman. Puck taken away from him by Ryan Othout. Now Mason Othout in the corner. Mason on the half wall, tries to leave it back, and now it'll be picked up here by one of the captains, that being Walensky. Gets it now to Mason Othout, plays it back now to cousin Ryan Othout. Back to Mason, back to Ryan. Now back over to Kyla Schmidgall. Schmidgall plays it down deep, sends it around to Mason. And it'll be finally picked up and passed out to center ice by Damagala. Moved ahead now, left side. This is Lease with a shot there, and a good block in front there by Schmidgall, and it will be a whistle down in the Flyers zone with 4:11 to go here in the first. Flyers lead 1-0.
The Flyers are doing a good job on line rushes, in their own zone to blocking these shots. Derek Young had an early block for a shot from the point. That was a good. And then you got Schmidgall there that wears one on that 2-on-1 there to get the puck out of play.
Had a chance to talk with Kyler in River Lakes or Richmond yesterday, and he just says he's feeling way more comfortable out there, getting more confident, and you can see that way he plays.
Yeah, definitely, especially being an undersized guy like he is. He plays a big role like he's a big guy.
Had to ask him about the battle he had with Jagger Wood, and he got under Jagger's skin a little bit and even cost a penalty, but it was a good, clean battle between the two.
Yes.
Here's Damagala. He'll dump it in. He'll retrieve first. Tries to pass it back as he got pasted to the wall there by Avery. Damagala once again behind the net. Avery takes it right away from him, and Avery now gets some help there from Adjerley, but intercepted by Damagala. Backhand attempt towards the net. Save made there. Rebound and jumped into there was the netminder, Collis, as he's on his back right now, as he got ran into.
Who ran into him?
I'm not sure on that. We'll have to see if we can get a replay of that. Well, we'll see right here. As the puck kept in, and oh yeah, it was one of the that was Damagala. Yeah, Damagala got him. Now, as an official on that, it wasn't a ton of contact, but how do you play something like that?
That one's tough because he's going to the net for a puck, and Little Falls guys also kind of putting a little pressure on him too. So sometimes if it's forced in by your opponent, you don't give him a penalty. But if it's free, then you got to take a goaltender interference there.
Here's Ryan Othout out to center ice. Ryan, 1-on-5. That's got to be a penalty as he got just yanked down. Almost looked like a rodeo calf getting pulled back.
That's a good hold call by Tanner Peach. What I like to see here, Ryan goes attacks this guy's triangle. He's trying to get across, puts the puck under his stick, and he's trying to get over the top of it. Ends up getting the hold call.
Who is our officiating crew tonight?
We got Tanner Peach and Jeremy Lombardi on the stripes, and then Tony Smith as our linesman.
All right, there you go. So our first power play of the night for the Flyers, 30.2%, 16 of 53. And here's the thing about the Cardinals. They've only given up 4 power play goals all season long, 45 of 49 on the kill, which is 91.8%. And this will be played all the way down the ice here. So the Cardinals penalty kill, excellent. And they also do have I think they just have 1 shorthanded goal. Nope, check, yep, 1 shorthanded goal on the season. Picked up here by Bork. Back now to center ice for the Flyers. This is Walensky. Walensky comes across. Walensky's going to send it behind the net. Wrap around, try to get to Gendro. On the wall now, picked up here by Chisholm. Over to Avery. Now to Othout. And a good stick there that time by Bork, and it's back out to center. Flyers bring it across once again. 1:08 to go here on the penalty. And it'll be out to center, and there's a breakaway opportunity here for Landon Lace. He shoots. Oh, what a save there. Not tipping his hand was Isaac Collis till the very last second when Lace decided he was going to go with the shot stick side, and a great job by Collis.
This is a great save, especially on the breakaway, being patient by Collis, letting that shooter decide what he's going to do and then react.
Back now across the line here. Still on the power play are the Flyers, and right now the Cardinals had the best scoring chance. Down low now. This is Walensky with it. Walensky behind the net. Puck taken away from him by Harquist. And Harquist will send it off the glass all the way down. Still 25 seconds left on the penalty time. That to Jackson Lace for holding. 1:15 to go here in the first, and a 1-0 lead for Little Falls on the Ryan Othout goal, his 16th of the season. This is Toma moving it ahead. Gets it to Mason Othout. And the puck intercepted here by Damagala. Damagala coming in now to the forehand, and that one goes wide. I don't believe getting a piece of that was the netminder. Maybe actually the pipe might have got some of that. Penalty time's expired, and the Cardinals had 2 golden opportunities on the shorthanded side. Here's Kyler Schmidgall just putting some towards the net. Toma trying to keep it in. Back the other way now comes Schlosser. Schlosser passes over Damagala, and that one up and over the cage. Down to 30 seconds to go in the period. Back the other way, 3-on-2 developing. Young's got Othout along with Majurley. Young comes across. Mason Othout backhand attempt, and Hoven has to make the save. And we'll cover up with 21 to go here in the first.
That was an exciting couple minutes there. Couple breakaways.
So Luke Avery's talking to the officials. Something happened over on that far wall. Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah, so Luke got hit off the initial draw there. And Luke's legs were kind of wrapped around the Luverne kid's legs. And, you know, from my perspective, Luke's holding on to the kid, and he kind of gives Luke a shot, which Luke thought should have been a penalty. I think the official's looking at it, hey, you're holding on to him, he's going to give you a shot, and we're going to call it even.
8 seconds to go. Here is Avery at center, maybe one last chance, down to the final 3 seconds. They'll drop it back, and no shot taken. There's the horn, and the period comes to an end. Interesting period. The Flyers seemed to dominate the first half. They got the goal, but since they scored the goal and then went on the power play, they actually seemed to struggle more.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, you know, you take that power play out of there, what Luverne had 3 or 4 shots on the penalty kill. I think if you take that out of there, it's a 9-4 and shot advantage for Little Falls. But yeah, I think they got to get settled back in. I think they were a little worked up after the penalty, and hopefully Joey will look at that period. Hey, you're up 1-0. Yeah, we gave up some quality scoring opportunities on the power play, so they got to fix that. But again, you got to lead. You just got to keep it now.
All right, 1-0 is the score after one. Earlier today, junior varsity, Little Falls, a 7-1 win over Luverne. And earlier than that, the Luverne Banamees played the Little Falls Banamees, and it was Luverne winning by a score of 7-1. So this is the third and final game of Little Falls Luverne this afternoon, evening here at the Exchange Arena.
I hope it's not a 7-1 finish. And if it is, I hope it's for Little Falls.
We'll find out. One period is complete. And time now for our first and second period segments. And tonight we're going back and we're going to chat with one of your teammates, a guy that wore number 11, Jared Fessler. Talk about him for just a sec.
Great guy. Unfortunately, he left early. I'm going to bring that up on there just so everybody knows. But I thank him for that because it allowed me to move up and play on the varsity level. And I had a fairly good career with him leaving. But it hurt our team especially. You know, Jared's a phenomenal guy, phenomenal hockey player. Extremely gifted, extremely talented, like just just watching him is a feat in itself. It's unbelievable, like what he could do with the puck, how quick his shot was. He had probably the quickest release I've ever seen, in person outside of watching NHLers shoot. So great guy. I'm sure the interview is going to be great.
Yeah, and of course he is a great all-around athlete and a very good golfer, and
Yes.
He's helped us win not one but 2 chamber championships over the last 2 years for Little
that's
Falls
awesome.
Chamber on our radio team. So I'm definitely going to look forward to this interview coming up with him right now.
All right, well, welcome back to our intermission segment where we're catching up with past Flyers, and in this period we're joined by Jared Fessler. Jared, welcome to our intermission segment.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, you were number 11 and you were involved in the first 3 state tournament teams that went down from Little Falls. So talk a little bit about growing up playing hockey in Little Falls and what that was like.
Growing up in Little Falls, small community, we had a few more numbers than we do now, but still small. It was good. It was, everybody on the team was your friend. You not only played, maybe hockey with them, you played baseball, football, basketball, all the different sports growing up. You kind of became, a friendship that still lasts, you just never lost. So, not only that, growing up, in a small community, you have the same coaches that coach at the same levels. You start with Cook down in Ice Mites, and then Verdunez, and then you had Rick Parker and John Hanowski and the Solums, and then you get up to Kucher, Stark, and Majurley up in high school, and they were all on the same page. They got you to play what they wanted, I should say, as far as systems, and they kind of ran the same stuff. They got you to develop, so then when you got to high school, you knew it in the back of your mind what you were going to do in all situations, and you didn't have to really go over that in practice as much as you should have. So playing here, and then obviously small community, the fans are great. Everybody is reading the newspaper, everybody knows everybody, and it's kind of nice to walk around and everybody knows a little piece about you. So it was really nice growing up.
Talk a little bit about winning that first section championship game over Wadena back in 2005. What do you remember about that whole experience?
So as freshman year, my brother was a senior. That was, I think, more memorable. Just being a part to play with him. They were so close in the years past of winning a section title, and just to be able to do it finally. And when we won, our city, our town came together. Like I was telling you earlier, it's just the amount of support that we got in the hockey community that year was unbelievable. We had T-shirts from every different company. We had, little memorabilia stuff. We had sweatshirts. We had a banner. We had a police escort. We had all kinds of things that you dream of when you're younger. And then to win the section final, obviously, was, a cherry on top. And then make it to this state tournament game. To be bussed down there, and then we had the banquet, and we got to see all the different teams, and no one has experienced that, and so we were the first ones, and then to step out on the Excel sheet for the first time was unbelievable. I was blinded by the lights when I stepped out there, so it was a big sheet of ice. It was just the atmosphere was great. The band was there, half of our town was there. It was awesome.
So a lot was made of the fact that the bus stopped at the Dairy Queen on the way to the state tournament 2 years ago. Did it stop at the Dairy Queen on that first year too?
It did. The Dairy Queen has always been a tradition. I don't know why. It just is. You think that it would be after the hockey games, not before them. But Dairy Queen has always been a tradition. I've always been a dessert king. I remember even after my junior year of losing out in the state tournament, we went to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I didn't order any good food. I put ice cream on my plate, wrapped around, and that's all I ate. So it's always been a thing for me, I guess. But yeah, it's a good tradition to keep. So.
It is a good tradition. Yeah. So on that first team back in 2005, you said you were a freshman. My understanding is you were on what they called the baby line.
Yep.
And have you had some unique nicknames for your lines going through your playing career?
Not really. I would say that the baby line was the only nickname as a line. It was 2 freshmen and a sophomore. So we were all freshly up in high school, and we were all pretty small. We were all 5'9", maybe 5'10" was one, but we were, the baby line. I mean, we didn't have facial hair, we didn't have anything like that. So it was, but we grew up playing together every single year. So it was, it was just something that we could keep, and we're just glad that we could contribute as a young group, as a young line, and help the seniors, the Lichties, and my brother, and those guys make it to the state tournament.
So you got back 2 more years to that state tournament. What do you remember about those 2 years?
The second year, was the same thing. We've been there before. We didn't have a very good experience as far as at the XL the first year. But, we came in, we were, we were ready. We were more prepared the second year, I think. The first year we were kind of more in awe. Second year we were more prepared. We played, we got drafted, we picked a not as high quality team to play at the beginning, so we ended up winning, which was great to win there, and then you get to play the rest of the games at the XL. So, we came in and we lost in the 3rd place game. But yeah, that year was good. My junior year, we were pretty good, solid squad that year. As far as getting there, we drew Hermantown, which was number 1. Right. Don't know why, we're still a little bummed that we didn't get seeded. We were a pretty good squad that year. We scrimmaged Hermantown earlier in the year and, tied them. So we came in, we were winning 3-2 going into the 3rd, but I think we ran out of gas a little bit. We were playing 2 lines. Hermantown always has some more depth than most teams. So we ran out of gas, ended up losing 6-3 with, I think it was 1 or 2 empty netters, or I think it was 1. And then we went into Mariucci, and we'll just say we might set the state tournament record for penalty minutes that game. I'm not really sure. We were it seemed like we were on the penalty kill the whole time. So we ended up going 2-0 that year, but it's still memorable. So.
Yeah. Well, there's not that many. There's a lot of hockey players in the state, but not that many that make it to the X. And so, to make it 3 years in a row, that's quite the accomplishment as a player.
Yeah.
And once again, good talk there with Jared Fessler. And as you saw there, coming up in the second intermission, we'll have part 2. And of course, last week we celebrated the very first state tournament team, that 04-05 team, which Jared was a part of that line called the Diaper Line, which also featured Lucas Jorgensen and then the other freshman on the team in Bo Hanowski. We had the celebration, and then afterwards we had a little fun down at the tavern on First. It was brought up to Tony Kuchar, how did the Diaper Line name ever come up? And Tony is actually, I kind of stole it from something. Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily original, but he said I think there was somebody in the NHL that it was called the Diaper Line.
Okay.
And that's where it came up with. So we kind of got to the bottom of that, where that all came about.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so you'll have to ask Cooch about that sometime.
I will.
I don't remember everything.
All the details.
There were so many conversations going on down there. And once again, thanks to Will, once again, the Tavern, Jordan, and everybody else, too, and Jessica for setting it up, Jessica Toma, and all that. It was a great time. The guys had a great time down there.
I'm sure there was some interesting and funny stories as well.
It was, but you know what? The guys are in their mid to late 30s now, so 4 of them had to get out of there, so they were out of there by about 8 o'clock. Yeah. So it was really actually Jared and Bo were the last 2 to stick around talking to Jamie and I for a while, and Tony Kuchar, too, so it was a lot of fun. Let's get to this game. 1-0 is the score after 1. And there's only 1 goal to show on Flyer Media Productions, and that came at 6:43 of the period as Ryan Olthout picks up his 16th of the year. As you see, it comes out of the zone, Avery to Mason Olthout, and eventually Ryan Olthout gets it underneath the bar, hits the water bottle, and has the 1-0 lead. And just a nice goal there for Ryan, and Ryan's got a great shot.
Yeah, Ryan can really rip that puck when he gets the opportunity, and you like to see him do it a little bit more. But yeah, it's a great play. Like, hockey's the only time you get to ever set anything up is on a face-off, right? Everything's read and react. Just whatever you're trying to react to what the other team is doing. And that's a great job off the face-off. Joey wins it clean. They know exactly what's happening. And like I said earlier, Mason Othau does a great job knowing that defenseman's pinching down just to get a nice little soft chip to an area where Ryan can pick it up and create the 2-on-1.
And once again, it reads Ryan Othau from Mason Othau and Luke Avery at 6:43. The only goal of the period. Shots in the period, 9 for Little Falls, 8 for Luverne. There was one penalty on Luverne, and 0 for 1 on the power play are the Flyers. What do you think the Flyers need to do here in period number 2?
They got to establish the forecheck again like they did in the first, and then try to get some more pucks to the net. Nine's a good number to start with, but they need another probably 10, 12 here. Try to break the seal a little bit more.
All right, some scores to pass along here. Some finals already. Crookston a 10-0 winner over Greenway. Lake of the Woods a 6-3 winner over Moose Lake. And also some other scores we'll get here. I know Jamie gave us a score as there are many games going on of Section 5A teams tonight. And right now, Mora leading Wadena 1-0 up in Wadena. That is where Jamie is tonight on assignment with the broadcast up there. Second period underway. As a shot there by Namagala, and that hits somebody as it never reached the netminder Collis. And here's an opportunity from the right point as the shot taken there by Jackson Lace and the save made by Collis.
Good job by Collis making that save with the tough.
So it was Tony Kucher's watching.
Okay.
It was actually the U.S. Olympic team, the 1984.
Eddie Olchek, Pat LaFontaine, and David Jensen.
David Jensen, yep. There you go. There's where it originated from. Thanks, Tony.
Eddie Olchuk, NHL play-by-play guy.
Absolutely. Played to the line here by Avery. Picked up now by Othau. Backhand attempt, and that one cleared out by Hoven. Back to the point now. Chisholm down to Ryan Othau. Sticked out of there by Hoven. In the corner, Mason Othau. Bumped up along the boards there by Lace. And now picked up by Jackson Lace out to center. They'll come across the line. Shot taken there. They'll sticked away there by the netminder Collis. We're a minute in here to the second. And the Flyers with that 1-0 lead. Out to center, Mason Othau. Got a 3-on-1 developing here. Othau with a quick shot, save made, rebound, loose, score! Joey Walensky with the rebound goal. And like Wesley said, hey, if we take shots towards the net, things happen. And there you go.
Things happen, right? That's a good shot by Mason. Get a rebound there. Kind of fought it off, and then Joey came in to pick up the garbage.
Time of the goal coming at 1:26 of the period. And for Joey Walensky, that is goal number 13 on the season. Joey coming in at 103 points. We'll talk about that in just a second here. And those are career points. We'll get the assist. Mason Othau should get one. We'll wait and see who gets the second assist on that.
Goal scored by number 8, Joey Walensky. Assist to number 6, Remy Chisholm. And number 19, Mason Othau.
So Mason Othau, Remy Chisholm get the assist and the goal, the 13th of the season by Walensky. As I mentioned, he now has 104 points in his career. How many points did you have in your career?
107.
So he is creeping up on you, and I think he's one of your employees here, right?
He is.
So now you have other employees here that have scored more points than you. I know that.
Yep.
But you might have another one jumping you here very soon.
I always tell those guys, it only took me 2. They took them 4. They got to remember that, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you also had an NHL player on your line.
Exactly.
They have not.
Exactly.
At least not yet that we know of.
Correct.
Under 15 to go here in the first. Make that second, and it's 2-0. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Here's a quick shot. That one goes wide by the stick of Bergman, and back to center. Played back in here by the Cardinals. Liam Toma will play it to the line out to center ice. Gimbel has it. He'll send it over here to Lace, that being Jackson Lace. Moved ahead by Harquist. Chisholm will gather it back at his own end. Starts to lead out to center. Passed here to Lace. Now Harquist again. Harquist comes across the line. Harquist tangled up by a couple Flyer sticks there in Avery and Toma. And Toma is able to clear it out of the zone as he got leveled along the glass. Back the other way now. Moved in is Harquist. A couple of players for the Flyers collide, that being Liam Toma and Walensky, the goal scorer. Here is Chisholm weaving his way from one end to the other, and Hoven makes the glove save and holds on. And boy, Remy Chisholm, he can fly.
He can scoot when you give him time and space. He can really go. He's got a long, lanky frame too.
And he definitely knows how to weave his way through things. He's done that a lot.
Yes.
Here once again is the replay of the goal scored. The shot by Mason Othout. The rebound sitting right there in the slot and hammered home there by Joey Walensky for his 13th of the season. Now Magala's shot, and that one nearly handcuffed the netminder Collis, but he was able to find it and gets the glove up and makes the save.
That's a good spot by Damagala, understanding Collis is real good. You got to try to put it by his ears. That's where you kind of see that awkward glove save. He's got to get it all the way up by his head there and try not to wear one off the melon.
Face off right circle to the left of the netminder Collis. Back to the line, but unable to keep it in there was Wiesman. Collis will leave it off. You know, last year, Isaac Collis had an assist in the Luverne game. So he had a point. Still a bunch behind you yet, so I don't think I think you'll be okay.
I'm safe on him.
Even though
he's also an
employee. I was going to say that.
Yeah. I'm safe on him. I don't know. I think the number of saves he has probably is better than any points that I have.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. How many current hockey players do you have that work here?
I have Joey Walensky, Isaac Collis, who we mentioned, and then Isaac DeZurek.
Yep.
I think that's all I have for high school guys. But I also have Caleb Alderson, who plays for the Granite City Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I saw a post to get 50 points.
50 career points for the Lumberjacks, which is a good feat at the junior hockey level.
Absolutely, that's really cool. And speaking of the Lumberjacks, there's a former Flyer on there.
A couple of them, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
We got Colton Johnson and Carter Othout, who I think is making his debut tonight.
Is he? Okay,
I think so.
He was at Rock Springs, was the last place, came back, and now he's playing for them. So good to see, yeah. Well, we can chat about that on some of the past players. There's a bunch of them that are currently still playing. I think the list is 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Played to center ice. Do you miss playing?
No.
You still do play, though, don't you?
Yeah, I still play men's league.
How did you guys do, by the way? Because weren't you guys playing one of the top teams? There's a turnaround shot. That one just goes wide, trickled wide by Young.
We lost last Sunday, so we got the 2 seed.
Uh-oh.
We got 2 losses on the year to the same team.
All right. What's the lineup look like of former Flyers for that team?
Oh, the list is heavy.
The list is heavy?
A lot of 100-point goal scorers. I'll tell you that.
And you've got 2 losses?
Yeah.
The competition that good, or are you just guys getting that old?
We're getting old.
Okay. Are you in your median of age? Where do you fit on that compared to the teams you're playing? Are they younger? Are they older? About the same?
The team that we lost to is a little bit younger.
Okay.
We only had 5 teams in the league. It's a 30 and over league. And there was only 5 teams, and Neil Anderschuck actually works at the school district here. Yep. So he's the guy that kind of runs the league, and he asked if we'd be okay if they brought in a younger team, mid-20s, a couple guys from the St. Cloud area that are pretty good players, and they can move around.
Okay.
We're some of us are getting older and adding a couple pounds, so it makes it difficult.
Yeah, I was hoping to see the purple suit tonight here, but you said you can't fit into that anymore.
That don't fit anymore.
Something to work into for the next broadcast.
Once I started having kids, the dad bod came into effect.
Yeah, you having kids. I mean,
exactly.
Sure, whatever. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Sympathy pregnancy, right?
Exactly.
Okay. 11:40 to go here in the second, a 2-0 lead for Little Falls. As play down in the Flyer zone, it'll picked up here by Toma. Out to center now. This is Rakowski, shot there. That one patted out into the corner by Hoven. 16th shot for the Flyers, 10 for Luverne. And a 2-0 lead for Little Falls. This will go into the Flyer bench And we're going to whistle in the stoppage of play with 11:17 to go here. Haven't had a lot of flow in this period so much as we saw a lot more in the first period for both teams.
Yeah, I think that second goal kind of took a little bit of wind out of Luverne's sails, so it's been stable in each zone. It hasn't been as much of a knockout fight as it was in the first period.
Well, Luverne coming in, as we mentioned in the pregame, 125 goals in 19 games. That's a 6.58 average. Is a good scoring chance there between the circles by Ryan Othop, but Hoven makes the save. So you know somewhere they're going to have to get some points. Shot taken there by Damagala. Nice save there by Collis. In the corner now, this is Chisholm. Damagala turnaround shot, and the stick save there by Collis. It was interesting. Last night, Jamie and I got to broadcast the game in the corner of the end zone. On one of the ends, obviously.
How are those sight lines?
And it was very, very difficult for the 200 feet the other side.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to watch Collis play in the first and third periods and how he is in the net, makes the saves, angle of his stick, just has total control of the game. You know, we stand here 100-plus feet away. It's a little bit different when you're about 20 feet away from him.
And you notice the speed difference,
Yes.
too, right? Like, granted, we're not that far away because if you're higher, like you're at the X,
Right.
you can really tell the difference, right? But, you know, it is interesting how the speed level is different on the glass.
Absolutely. And not my favorite place to broadcast, at least on the glass. I did that at the Hippodrome a few years ago. But actually, I'll be honest, it was a lot easier to see last night in Richmond at the River Lake Civic Center than it was at the Hippodrome because I was at center ice on the glass, so you had a heck of a time looking into the corners.
Yeah, I could understand that.
But you got to do things for high school hockey, right?
Yep. You got to get the broadcast out.
Absolutely. And we don't have a nice setup like this here where we're basically right on top of the arena. This I think is one of the best broadcast vantage points in the whole state.
Well, you're so close to the action because you're just straight above it, right? You're not too far back or too far away or looking over spectators.
Now all we need is like a snack table, different things like that.
Maybe when Tony's done coaching the girls, he can have that set up here. A couple crock pots.
Yeah. Maybe a way to get over here so we don't have to climb the ladder anymore. That's always scary. Here's Migdal now, back behind the net of Hoven. 10 to go here in the second. And controlled here by Luverne, back in their own end. This is Bork. Bork will move it ahead. Still on his tape, comes across the line. Bork's going to take a shot and whistle that one wide, and that'll go into the safety netting. We get a stoppage of play with 9:43 to go here in the second. 2-0 is the score. We had mentioned, obviously, Jared Fessler. We're going to have that second half coming up. We mentioned Colton Johnson, which playing for Granite City. Now Carter Othot playing for Granite City. But some other guys that are still playing, Landon Johnson, 2018 grad. He got some COVID years there, didn't he? And he's still playing. Coming into tonight's action, 17 games played, no goals, 3 assists for 3 points, but he's a plus 12. That's always a positive thing.
It's a good thing for a defenseman, too.
Absolutely. And, of course, Gustavus played a UW Stout about a couple weeks ago. And on that UW Stout team is Nick Stevens, the Eagle, which we know.
Birdman.
And he defeated Gustavus by a score of 2-0. Stevens, by the way, 20 games played, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points, and a +7. He's having a great year.
Great year as a freshman.
Absolutely. Ooh, a big hit there as Avery ran right into one of the Cardinal players, and that was Miller he ran into. Back to center ice now. Going back to pick it up here will be Chisholm. Chisholm sends that one all the way through, and an icing coming up. Well, Tony Kuchar must be watching tonight, and has a chance every once in a while to watch his son Dane Kuchar, which is getting a ton of starts up at Concordia Moorhead. He's 8-6-2 going into the weekends. Got 2 shutouts, goals against a 2.37, and a save percentage of 91.4 as the Cobbers are 8-9-2 on the year.
Yeah, Dane's having a good year, and it's good for him. You look at his save percentage is pretty similar to what he had in high school, right? just proves that he is a quality goaltender.
Absolutely, and he's getting a lot of time. And I'm looking forward to the 20th of February because Concordia will take on St. John's, and that'll be down at the Herb Brooks Center. So I'm going for sure. I'm going to be there, and I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, that Dane's playing that night.
Yeah. I would assume he's had everyone but one start, I believe.
I think he's had a couple, I think there's been 2 or 3 I think I've seen on the stat sheet. But, well, if you look at it, he's 8-6-2, and they are 8-9-2, so three games. So they only win when he's in, it sounds like. Well, it's proven. That's the numbers right there.
That is the numbers.
Numbers don't lie, right?
You're right.
So that'll be a battle, and George Moore III actually plays for St. John's. I know he doesn't get a lot of playing time. I think he's had 3 or 4 games so far, but there might be a chance. Oh, a big hit, maybe with the stick underneath Ryan Oathout as he went down heavy. Wow. And it's not like he's just flopping either. He took a high stick right under the chin. And play continues on. And unfortunately, I don't think any of the Stripes saw that whatsoever, because if they did, they would have made a call. Now, here's my question on that. If the play is blowing dead here eventually, can they go over to the linesman and ask him? Because the linesman can't really blow the whistle right now because of a penalty.
Yeah, only on a major penalty.
Is
if
that
they
how
think
it works?
it's a major penalty, that linesman can make the call.
And it might have just been an errant stick. It didn't look like anything flagrant, but still, you got to have control of your stick. Here's Mason Oathout. Oathout with a shot glove save made there by Hoven, and he holds on. And let's talk about that, controlling of stick. Is that a penalty or not?
It isn't an aspect, right?
Oh, there it is right there.
That one's tough. I'm assuming no one saw that one. That is definitely a high stick, right? Kid's going for the puck. It's one thing if the kid's stick's just kind of hanging behind and accidentally catches you. As a referee, you look at it and go, it's not on purpose, just kind of unfortunate timing. But that one definitely, I think if they would have saw it clear, they definitely would put their arm up.
Well, who saw it clearly? It was Mark Deal and the camera crew here. Nothing gets by Mark. Nothing gets by the kids here.
That's the one thing with the broadcast, right? As an official, you hate it because it's like, you can look at everything on replay and break it down. Oh, like this happened and this happened. At real speed, it's really difficult to process all that, right? And understand where the stick came from. Did he try to lift the guy's stick? And there's so many things that are a factor to that. But, with replay, it makes it a lot easier for us to make the call, right?
What I was going to say, though, is it's an education piece for you, too, though.
Yep.
So, okay, you guys maybe missed a few calls. You can go back in the video watch and go,
sure.
Okay, maybe we need to watch for this next time or something.
Yep.
Here's a partial breakaway. Shot save made there by Collis, coming off the stick of Bork. And I tell you, Blake Bork has played a really good game tonight for the Cardinals. He's been everywhere. Back the other way now. Majorly plays it in deep. And holding it in at the point will be Chisholm. Now here's Avery. Avery in the slot. Shot there, and that one nearly handcuffed Hoven as it goes off the stick into the corner. Young now a blast and sends that one wide. Down to 6:40 to go here in the second. Little Falls with a 2-0 lead. And they lead the shot category 20-13. And they'll say no icing, as it could have been played by, I guess, a flyer. Back to center ice now. This is Toma. Bork comes across line. I think he thought he was offside, but he wasn't. And back comes Liam Toma. Liam comes across. Shot there. And the save made by the netminder once again, Gavin Hoven.
I just noticed the goalie's a true righty. I did not even notice that until right now. I'm just like, God, it just looks weird when he's making a glove save, but he's playing with the opposite hand. He's wrong-handed.
Yeah, well, that's the second goalie in a row because last night the goaltender for River Lakes was the same thing.
Yeah.
We've seen a bunch of those this year. Jamie always has to point that out, too.
Yeah, I just noticed it.
You just noticed it. I just go along with the game. And we'll have an offside here as Dick brings it across the line, but Toma was still in on the play.
I'm a right-handed shot, and I always complain because lefties have the advantage. You can go low blocker. That's like the easy spot to score on a goalie, and righties you don't have the advantage.
So you're a right-handed shot. Is that how you golf too then?
Yep.
See, now here's the funny thing. I'm a golfer on right, but I'm a lefty shot.
Interesting.
Is that weird or what?
I right left-handed, eat left-handed, do everything else right-handed.
Played back in the Luverne end. Picked up here by Bergman. Out to center ice now. Gimbel will dump it in. Collis goes out for a stroll, gets away from him, and the shot just wide of a wide open net there by Bergman. To Bergman's defense, it was a tough angle, but he did have enough to put it in, and he just missed it. And that's the scary thing sometimes when a netminder goes out for a stroll, thinking that the puck is just going to lay there nicely, and it took a weird hop. This will go over the cage as Tyler Schmidgall got hit, but it went all the way over, kind of like a lob wedge on the green, and played all the way back down into the Flyers zone. 5:10 to go here in the second. 2-0 Flyers lead. Ryan Olthout getting a bunch of stick work. He comes across the line, whistles a shot wide. Here's Walensky. Pass out in front, nobody there, and Dabagala went down in a heap. I think he must have tripped over one of his own players, or maybe one of his own friendly Fire sticks. Avery now. Back the other way. Out to center. This is Lace. Brandon Lace dumps it in. Played away.
Good stick.
Olthout. Lost the skates there. Now Lace with a shot save made there by Collis. Kamagala back to the point. Right side now. This is a chance there by, and a stipped in front of the goal. Looks like it went all the way in as Wiesman gets credit for the goal with the shot from the right point. There was a lot of traffic.
Ton of traffic. I'm surprised they got through. Looked like the shot was on the ice.
Let's see here on the replay. As they go over to Wiesman on the point. Well, it almost looked like it was a knuckleball.
Yeah, something happened there.
Like the shot went, it wasn't as fast as Collis thought it was going to come in.
Little change-up action there.
There you go.
We'll have to ask Collis how well he hits the change-up.
You can ask him that. I'm not. I think they're trying to figure out who scored the goal or what.
No, goalie's pad.
It's the second time now that Hoven has had some issues with the pads. Time of the goal coming at 12:31 of the period. And Wiesman will get the second of the season. We'll have to wait on the assists, as Tim Brummer will let us know here in just a moment. But that changes the complexity of this game now, as you see here on the replay. Wiesman with the shot. Boy, I think that was tipped in front.
I think it was too.
Just
looked like it changed directions.
When I saw that, I thought it was tipped. But
Goal scored by number 16, Sage Wiesman. Assist to number 8, Landon Lace. And number 10, Blake Miller.
So Lace and Miller get the assist, and it is now a 2-1 score. Played back to center ice, right below us. And we flipped back to neutral. Coming in is Chisholm. Bobbling that a little bit was Hoven, and then he covers up. So the goal scored. The second of the season here, and we're going to get a slow replay here. Wiesman gets credit for the goal, but let's watch on the right circle as there's commotion coming across. Yeah. Was that 8? No, was that 9? No, that was, what number is that? Hard to see the number. We're going to have to get that one more time, but it looked like it might have been tipped. Regardless, it's in the net, and it's 2-1 as the lead has been cut in half. Out at center, Ryan Olthout. He'll come across the line. Olthout getting a little screen from Mason, and the shot goes high and wide. Walensky now trying to keep it in. Walensky with a shot goes off the pads there of Lace, Jackson Lace. Mason Olthout in the corner, bumped up along the wall there, heavily by Bork. And this one comes to the wide. The netminder Hoven. Ryan Olthout picks it up. Ryan Olthout going upper shelf. Gets the rebound. Side angle comes out in the slot, but played away there by Schlosser. Can't clear it out of the zone though. Chisholm able to keep it in. Now it's Jackson Lace, unable to get it out. Avery gets it down. Olthout, and that clanks it off the pipe. As he clanked it off the left pipe. Back to center ice it comes. Now at neutral, Avery, good job and a good stick there. That could have been a 2-on-0 the other way. Avery brings it across, drops for Walensky. Now back to Ryan Olthout. Olthout in the corner. Flyers working right now to get something going. Bork tries to clear it. Back down to the stick here of Othau, and he just slides it wide on the backhander. I don't think he was expecting that pass, as it just kind of came right to his stick. It'll be cleared the length of the ice. And with 2:20 to go, the Flyers numerous chances and a big pipe there by Ryan Othau.
That's great pressure by the Flyers there, establishing the forecheck, having them in their zone and getting many quality scoring opportunities.
Let's go to the replay here again. This is going to be the shot from Ryan Othau, I believe, as he comes in and just clanks it
right
off the pipe.
post.
Off the purple pipe. How's that been going this year with the purple pipes?
Been fine.
Been good?
Yep.
Back behind the net. This is Gendro, down to 2:08 to go. Of course, I heard the girls' team didn't want the purple pipes the first game, and then they had them the second game, and they won. Yep. So that's the rumor I heard.
That is a true rumor.
That's a true rumor. Okay. This is Young now. Turnaround shot there by Gendro, and blockered out of there by Hoven. Knocked down here by Young. Shot on net, and a save made there by Hoven. And he holds on as the Flyers buzzing here in the last couple minutes after that Wiesman goal.
Joey's got to like the pressure that they're putting on. We just got to get one here before the end of the period.
Face-off, going to be down to the left of the netminder, Wiesman, or by Hoven, that is. Wiesman with that last goal as the lone goal so far for the Cardinals. As we mentioned, the Cardinals averaging 6.5 goals a game, and so far just one here. If I remember right, they have been shut out. They were shut out by Monticello 6-0 in the Granite City Classic. It's down to the Flyer zone, 1:18 to go here in the second. Touch there by Landon Lace. Moved ahead here. Here's Bo Majorly. He's got some wheels. Majorly trying to come in, and a good stick there by Harquist, but Majorly able to slide it out. Shot on net. Hoven with the save. And back the other way now comes Damagala, one-on-one with Gendro. And a good job there by Gendro, and a late stick there by Damagala, which has had his stick out at 2 or 3 different times. And we get some shoving after this, and they'll separate, and everybody will be fine. With 50.1 to go, as an official linesman, obviously you want to get in there and make sure nobody throws any punches or anything.
Yeah, nothing. You don't want anything dumb to happen in those situations, right?
So the face-off going to be down in the Flyers zone. Flosser tries to win the draw. Now taken away here. Bouncing puck and a quick whistle there. And there's a lot of Luverne fans here because of the Bantam A team here. So a lot of parents traveled with them. And they don't like the call. And yes, they got the benefit of the doubt of the quick whistle.
I think that whistle happens because he's worried about goalie getting hacked again.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. On the side of the net now, this is Bergman. Loose puck in front, underneath the netminder Collis, and he will cover up. And Collis quickly gets out of this crease area and wants to take a little stroll here. With 38.8 to go. Only one penalty in the game. That came back in the first period, a holding call. We've had nothing here in the second. Flyers had a 1-0 lead after one. They made it 2-0 on a Walensky goal, and that lead would cut in half here by a Wiesman goal for the Cardinals at 2-1. Here is Ryan Othau. Comes across. Taken away there. Back out to center it comes. Fanning on it there now was Walensky. Wow, a lot of stick work here by the Cardinals. Played back out to center. Neutral ice now. This is Bergman. Moved ahead here by Harquist. Harquist comes across the line. 10 seconds left. And taken away there nicely by Chisholm. Going to tie it up along the wall. It's a dangerous play, and there's been penalties called on that too if they don't move it. But down to the final seconds.
Couple seconds there. It's not that big of a deal, but
actually, wasn't there a penalty call here a couple of years ago on that?
I
there was at one game.
I can't remember what game it was, so I do remember that.
There was. They went in the corner and they were just holding on to it for 5-6 seconds, and eventually a penalty was called for delay of game. All right, 2 periods complete. And as I mentioned, both teams sharing a goal in this period. But after 2, the Flyers still lead this one by a score of 2-1. Your comments about the second?
You know, for the Flyer perspective, you know, they had 2 minutes there where they really put the pressure on, couldn't get a goal. I think you look back at that and say, guys, when we do the things we need to, you know, that's the pressure we give. And then towards the end of that period, they had trouble breaking the puck out. Kind of gave Luverne some time to get back into it. But I think we're in for a good treat here in the third period.
Should be a good third period. We're talking about past players. We should mention, too, Hayden Johnson had his first goal for Lawrence University last weekend.
Yep.
So congratulations to him. Of course, he's playing over there in Wisconsin. All right, 2 periods complete. When we come back, we're going to have the third period. But before we do that, we are going to have that second half of the interview. Once again, here is Jared Fessler.
Hockey and USHLs. Talk a little bit about that experience, what that was like.
Yeah, so I decided it was a tough decision. I met with my St. Cloud coach, my juniors coach from Lincoln, Nebraska, and Kuchar all in 1 week. Decided to forego my senior year here and move down to Lincoln, Nebraska, where I play in the USHL. It was a big decision, but it was the right hockey career move, looking back on it. Yes, it would have been great to play in another state tournament, but the schedule that we had played in high school wasn't making us compete every game. There was, even in my junior year, there was probably, I would say 80% of the games we weren't really playing the third period. Going down to Lincoln, Nebraska was a new experience. I went to a new school. I had to go to school for half the day, then we'd go to practice for half the day. Their rink was similar to St. Cloud's, I would say. They held about 5,000 people. It was full every single time. They had a nice light up star that came down from the ceiling and blew smoke and lit up, and it was pretty cool place to play. As far as the hockey, obviously, competition-wise, it was very good. It was, a lot of guys that I went on to play college against, and a lot of them that went on to the NHL. So, as far as my experience down there, it was a good one as far as the hockey standpoint was. And it was just one of those stepping stones that you needed to take to get to college.
Sure. And so, were you already committed to play at St. Cloud then before you left to go play juniors?
Yes, I committed, I think it was September of my junior year.
And who was the coach at St. Cloud at that point?
So it was Bob.
Was Bob.
Yep. So Eric Rude was the assistant coach that technically recruited me. And then Bob was the head coach at that time. It was his first year, I believe.
What was that recruiting process like?
It wasn't a ton because when I grew up, I had a teacher, my third grade teacher, Miss Gracke. She was a big St. Cloud State fan, and she took me to some of the games growing up, and I fell in love with St. Cloud. So it was kind of a no-brainer that I'd be there if they offered. But it was realistically walked in. They obviously showed interest. We went to a game. The coach had a sit-down meeting with me. He talked out of 2 hours. He talked about an hour and 59 minutes. And by the end of it, yes, we showed back up with St. Cloud State gear. So it wasn't a long process, but it was something that I've always dreamed about going to because I grew up loving it. So.
Cool. So you played at St. Cloud obviously in a time that really built the foundation for the success that program is going through right now. Your years kind of turned the corner, so to speak, I think, for a lot of that success. What was playing at St. Cloud like, and being able to play so close to home for you?
It was great. After going to Nebraska and being 8.5 hours away from home, we had it, and my parents would travel down a bunch and stuff like that. But when you're at St. Cloud, you're 30 minutes, and the amount of Flyer fans that come to watch and support you, it's really nice. And then just as far as the hockey standpoint, coming into St. Cloud State, they were starting to get on the map. Bob did a very good job of recruiting. and getting players in. And it wasn't, you know, like the U of M days where they would try and get, you know, top picks of the NHL draft, every single one of them. You know, he put together a team is what he did. A team that could compete, and it wasn't all, you know, grade A players. So playing there was great. It was a family. It was more like a family when we were there too. All the kids, you know, we all hung out together. That's all we did, is spend time with each other. And then as far as the hockey side, you know, obviously coming in freshman year, you know, we had some expectations, and then sophomore year was our first year that St. Cloud State won an NCAA, you know, game. So, you know, we did the stepping stone, and then, you know, a kid that Drew LeBlanc that I graduated technically with, or he came in at the same year, ended up redshirting because he broke his leg one year, but, you know, he ends up winning the Hobie. So, you know, just different parts like that, and we got to go down to Florida together and win a tournament. So it was a really fun group, and it was a really fun experience. You know, going from Little Falls, where you have your hometown and everybody's on board, and then going to Lincoln, where it's more of everyone knows they're there for a year, so it's not as much of a family, and then coming into college and getting that family back was really great.
Is there one experience that just really stands out to you from your time in St. Cloud, or one game?
One game. I would say probably our Florida tournament. You know, it was the only tournament that we traveled. You know, we got to go down over Christmas break, which usually we're sitting in the dorms or sitting in our houses for the 3 weeks that no one has school.
Sure.
So we got to go down to Florida. We flew down. We got to play, you know, it was 2 games. We ended up winning them both, won the tournament. And then, you know, just being able to, we got to go to the beach, we got to golf, you know, we did a lot of things down there. That was a really fun experience, and it was just our team and our family. So
very cool. So there's a Flyer jersey hanging over your shoulders there. What did it mean to you to put that Flyer jersey on?
It meant a lot, you know. Obviously, growing up, started hockey when I was 4, you know, and then every year, obviously, your parents bringing you to the high school games or older kids games, you know, and you get to play, and you always look back at like the Mario Philippes and the Dobuses and all the guys that when you were growing up, those were the stars, you know, and being able to get to that level and put on the Flyer jersey, especially the first time, meant a lot. You know, that was something you look forward to your whole life. And it represents our town and our community, and people just sometimes see, you know, a jersey, but it means so much more to us as hockey players.
Very cool. Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining us for this intermission segment, and we look forward to seeing you around the rink and for years to come.
Sounds good, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
And once again, that was a talk with Jared Fessler that Mark Deal had a chance to do. And, of course, Jared had lots of information in that. They talked, obviously, about the youth coaches that he had, the first state tournaments, which back in 04-05, that very first state tournament team, which started the run of 5 straight state tournaments for the Little Falls Flyers. The Flyers have 7 in school history. And also chatted a little bit about ordering the large blizzards at the DQ. Wesley right now down in the Zamboni room. When he comes back up, I'm going to ask him, because if he always did that every time, I know for sure the guys on that 04-05 team definitely brought that up numerous times about Jared always getting the large blizzard. And then, of course, he talks about the USHL experience, the recruiting process, and playing at SCSU. Of course, he finishes out as it was made well known here by Wesley Watashik that he only played 3 seasons, had the chance to play 4, but forego his senior year to go play junior hockey down in Nebraska. But once again, for him, second all-time on the school list of scoring, 136 goals, 111 assists for 247 points. All right, let's take a look at the second period summary. And we'll start it off with the first goal of the game. And that was by Ryan Olthout at 6:43 of the first period as he gets his 16th of the season. First assist goes to Mason Olthout. 7 assists goes to Luke Avery. As you see coming in across the line, fires the shot, hits the water bottle as he goes upper shelf. And Olthout has his 16th of the year to make it 1-0 for Little Falls. The Flyers then early on in period number 2 made it 2-0. And this time it was Chisholm passing it to Mason Olthout. Olthout got a first shot. The rebound in front was deposited in the back of the net by Joey Walensky as Joey picks up his 13th of the season. It reads Walensky from Chisholm and Olthout. And time of the goal at 1:26. And it was 2-0 Little Falls. Flyers do give up their first goal of the night. And that this time was a goal scored from the right point as it was scored by the defenseman Sage Wiesman. As you see here on the replay, it looked like it potentially was tipped. And actually, it would have been number 6 there, Blake Sauer, that might have tipped that. But right now it reads Wiesman from Landon Lace and Lake Miller. And that goal coming at 13, make that 12:31 of the period. It makes the score 2-1 where we stand right now. Shots in the second period for the Flyers. They had 17 for a 2-period total of 26. For Luverne, they had 10 for a 2-period total of 18. Only 1 penalty so far in the game. That came back in the first period against Luverne. The Flyers are 0 for 1 on the power play. Luverne yet to get a power play yet in this hockey game. So once again, after 2 periods of play here at the Exchange Arena, it is Little Falls 2 and Luverne 1. Of course, tonight, Wesley Watashik helping me out. That's because Jamie Pettit is in Wadena as a radio broadcast. Wadena taking on Mora. And he just sent me a text after 2 periods of play. Wadena, Deer Creek leading Mora by a score of 2-1. So after 2 periods of play, once again, it is Wadena leading Mora 2-1. Of course, Mora in Section 5A. There are, I believe, 8 section games going on tonight. See if we can get a few other scores in the section. St. Cloud Cathedral right now leading East Grand Forks. That game is up in East Grand Forks. The last score that I have on that is 3-1. Also tonight, Becker Big Lake is at Wyndham. Cambridge is at Pine City. Sauk Rapids is at Chisago Lakes. Breckenridge Wahpeton is at River Lakes. And Monticello is at Northern Edge. So out of the 9 teams that are in the section, 8 of them are playing tonight. Some other scores in Class A hockey. Hutchinson right now leading Mount West Tonka by a score of 5-2. And I believe at the end of 2 periods I saw it was Moorhead and Hermantown. They were tied at 1 after 2 periods of play. Everything good back in the Zamboni room?
Yeah, everything's good.
Everything's good? I'm supposed to ask you a couple questions. And one question I wanted to ask is on the Jared Fessler, the blizzard thing came up, obviously. Did he always ask for a large blizzard when you were on the team, too?
I believe he did, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you get for a blizzard?
Oh, I don't even remember. I'm a big cookie dough guy, I think.
Okay. Did you get a large one or not?
I did not. So I'm not a big fan of Dairy Queen's ice cream. It doesn't agree with my stomach very well, so I didn't eat a whole lot of Dairy Queen ice cream.
Of course, obviously you played with Jared and you played with Ben Hanowski, too, a couple Division I players. What was it like for you as a then graduate of high school to go watch your teammates play Division I hockey?
That was fun, right? Like you get all the guys together, and you know the nice thing is real close to home, right? You got St. Cloud State where you could go watch Jared and Ben play, and but yeah, you get the group of guys together, you go down, and you know you make a night of it. You know, a group of us would stay down with those guys and hang out with their teammates, and you know they kind of became your teammates, right? Because you knew you were so close with Jared and Ben, and then you go and you spend time at St. Cloud State, and you go to their houses afterwards, and it was really fun.
Do you get a chance to see those guys much anymore?
Yeah, I play in the golf league against Fessler, so I get to see him there, and we have a big Ryder Cup golf trip with all the former hockey guys. So we do get to spend a lot of time together and have a little competition yet.
Including you got your hole-in-one a couple of years ago on that,
yes,
didn't you?
Yes, I did. It's actually my first time being on the trip. They've done it, I think this is the 5th year. And I've been a part of 3 of them now. But, yeah, so my first year on the trip, I hit a hole-in-one.
So everybody can get one. It's when you get the second one, then you can start talking about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you have one, Jamie has one, and I have one.
Yes.
So it's the race to 2.
Yeah. And we're all different level golfers, right?
Yeah.
Jamie's elite, right? College golfer, and you and I are just real amateurs.
We're just hackers.
Yes.
That's what we are. All right, third period is underway. And a 2-1 lead for the Little Falls Flyers as Flyers trying to break a 2-game losing streak and pick up a win here against a very good Luverne team. Mason Othout. Quick shot taken there by Walensky, and that one sent wide. Going back to that goal by Wiesman that he scored, we think that it might have went off the skate potentially of Walensky. That might have been the direction change, and Mark Deal pointed that out to me. So he thinks it might have went off the skate, so it looks like it will be Wiesman's goal. And, of course, that one coming late here in the second period to make the deficit only 1. Back to center ice now. Played here by Walensky. Now Sauer has it. Chisholm to Ryan Othout. Ryan Othout, nice little move, but Hoven does a nice job of getting the stick out there and playing it away from Othout. Now the right circle. It's on the tape there briefly of Chisholm and then sent the length of the ice. Let's talk about both teams. First of all, for Luverne, you trail by 1, but at the end of the period you were doing okay. What do they need to do here in the third?
Well, they like to stretch the zone, so they're going to try to probably stretch the zone, get the defenseman for Little Falls out of there so it's a little bit easier to break out. And then also just try to keep on the pressure, getting pucks to the net. They do have some speed when they get to the offensive side, so they're going to try to get a couple more shots to call us, and hopefully they can get one to sneak by them.
All right, as far as the Flyers, you're not comfortable with a 1-goal lead. You need to extend the lead. What do they need to do?
I think you got to go back to the beginning of the game where you kind of establish the forecheck. Establish the forecheck, move pucks around, don't get too cute with it, keep it simple, get guys to the net, and get some more shots on them.
Shot taken there by Majorly, and that one went off maybe the skate of one of the Cardinals, Miller, and he is hobbling over to the bench right now. He's in some pain. Probably right off the boot, his shot was taken there. Down to 15-10 to go here in the third in a 1-goal game. Of course, last year it was a 6-5 overtime win for the Flyers. We've had a much more defensive game, I guess you could say, even though the shots are 27-19. Out at center ice. Picked up here by Harquist. Harquist comes across the line. Backhand attempt towards the netminder, Collis, and that was Schlosser with it. Now once again Hartquist unable to keep it in there was Gimbel, and Gimbel will go back and pick up. Moved ahead here, and that hits somebody here on the bench. And luckily for the Flyers, they had the right amount out there, as that was dangerously close to a line change there.
Real close to too many men.
Yeah. You always worry about that, especially when the puck comes near the bench area on a line change. And as an official linesman, you got to watch that stuff, don't you?
Yeah, line changes are one of those things where it's like if the kid isn't actively playing the puck or he's got a leg that he's going up over the boards, you kind of look past it, right? You don't want to.
Even if it hits him?
Yeah, sometimes. Okay. Sometimes if he's got 1 foot in the box and he's getting in and it just happens to hit him just because the puck went there, it just kind of is what it is at that point.
Held in by Chisholm, and this will go up and out of play. 14-13 to go here in the third. Flyers, their 13th game in January. We've kind of chronicled this throughout the year and out this month. They are 7-4-1. Coming into tonight's game, Ryan Othout, 25 points. Joey Walensky, 16 points. Luke Avery, 15 points. Remy Chisholm, Lucas Gendrell, 13 points. As those top 5 for the Flyers. Of course, they did struggle a little bit yesterday and got a lot of secondary scoring, which is a great thing to have, especially when you're a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, you're really looking for secondary scoring because you expect it out of those top guys. And, if you can get the secondary group to get you a couple points a night, it helps take the pressure off that top line.
course, two key section losses this week. The first here at home, 3-2 to St. Cloud Cathedral, which, Cathedral, they came to play, and John Hirschfeld looked good in that game.
Yeah, he looked a lot better in that game than the first meeting that Little Falls had with Cathedral. And, Hirschfeld's a game changer. There's a reason why he's a Mr. Hockey candidate. But, yeah, they came to play, and they got some depth. The Griffin Sturm kid on the point, the Gillespie kid, even on their second line, the Wood kid can really rip the puck. So, having him makes it nice that they can play Gillespie and Hirschfeld together.
So I got to ask you this question because obviously those two teams in Cathedral and Monticello have only played once. Cathedral won the matchup 2-1 at the MAC. There will be no second matchup. Do you consider them as the number one seed then?
From my coaching background, I like to think the head-to-head matchups are the ones that kind of override things. But
even though Monticello could go 23-1-1.
That's the caveat. That's the caveat is you're going to have a 23-1-1 team that
potentially
23-1-1 team. That'd be a 2 seed. That's tough to swallow, right? And as we know, it's a coach's vote. So if every coach wants to vote for Monticello will get the one.
Kind of like the Vikings being a 14-win team and being the wild card team on the road, right?
Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for Monticello, it doesn't matter because it's a coach's vote. It's not, hey, this is where you're stuck,
and we'll get back to the game here as that shot goes wide. Were you ever a part of the coaches' votes when you were, obviously, head coach Tony Kuchar submitted the vote, but I'm sure there was conversation between all of you.
Yeah, all of us had input to where we thought we were going to be, and Tony would make that final decision,
so
obviously being the head coach.
The question would be, this is Majorly, and a shot, and Hoven is able to keep it and keeps it out with 12:37 to go here. Do you seed them by how you feel they should be, or do you seed it by how maybe the matchups you can get in the playoffs?
As the coaches vote, I would say a lot of coaches do the secondary option you gave me. Because if you're the 5, 6, 7, 8, you want to try to find somebody that you are going to play and you're going to match up well against instead of seeing somebody maybe that gave you trouble in the year.
See, we took those rose-colored glasses off tonight, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You're telling it like it is.
Yep.
It's good to know. 12:31 to go here as that shot came from Tyler Rakowski and the save made by Hoven as that was save number 27 on the night here for Gavin. Face off in the left circle to the right of the netminder. Hoven draw one again by the Flyers. Played in the corner here, touched there by Jackson Lace. He'll send it around, intercepted. Now Dick had an opportunity. Avery comes in, plays it in the corner. Now back to the high slot. Here's a chance there by Rakowski, and he just shot it over the net. Might have been tipped a little bit in front, too. Avery now slides that one wide. And good job there keeping in was Chisholm. Then, a high stick there, and a penalty going to be called, I believe. Well, maybe not.
Get him for a hook.
I was going to say, boy, that's a long call. You're taking some time. And the first penalty here against the Flyers. And it's going to be Chisholm going to the box for a hook, and we'll see that power play for the Cardinals, 35.9%, 23 of 64. They have given up 3 shorthanded goals, though. And the Flyers do have 3 shorthanded goals. They're about 75% on the power play. They have given up 13 power play goals this year. It's 38 of 51. Shot on net, save made there, coming way out, rebound, score! And we're tied at 2 as Collis slid all the way over. I think right now Avery's asking about was there interference there, but he wasn't in the crease, I believe.
Yeah, Collis made the slide all the way over and just his momentum carried him across.
We'll see here on the replay as Landon Lace is going to get credit for the goal. And yeah, he's out of the crease, so it's not like there's interference. No. He put himself out of there, and the goal is scored. A power play goal. Time of the goal comes at 5:08 of the period. And just like that, Wesley, we are tied. 2 goals for Little Falls, and once again had a 2-0 lead, and they've given up that 2-0 lead, and it's now 2-2.
Yeah, it's kind of been the story of the last couple games, huh?
It has. 20th of the season for Landon Lace. It's his 6th power play goal. And we'll see who gets the assist. Most likely it'll be who won the faceoff on that, which probably is going to be Damagala. We're tied at 2. 11:48 to go here. And actually that was
Number 8.
that was himself, actually. So he's the original face-off guy. Shot was from the point. Rebound there. Maybe Harquist will get an assist. Still waiting for the announcement here. Maybe they're sleeping downstairs.
Scored by number 8, Landon Lace. Assist to number 6, Blake Sauer, and number 21, Maddox Damagala.
Damagala gives an assist in there, and the other one goes to Sauer. And we are tied at 2. So the Flyers, for the second game in a row, they surrendered 3 2-goal leads yesterday, have surrendered now 1 here tonight. It's not necessarily the kind of look you want to have as a team. It's got to make some gray hairs for Coach Janowski.
He might end up bald like me.
That's because you have girls. Just wait till the next one comes, right?
Yep.
I do still have hair, and I had 3 daughters, so
You're a lucky man.
yeah,
Good genetics.
Must have had some good genetics, I guess. Sent all the way in. Down to 11 to go in the game. Tied at 2. Played behind the net by Walensky. Over to Chisholm. And the shot there knocked down by Bergman. Passed out in the slot. Bergman had it, trying to wrestle it away as Walensky as he picks it up and he plays it into the corner. Back there to get it first is Miller. Out to the line, but not out. Held in here by Mason Othout. Now Ryan Othout with a shot, and Hoven will stick that one into the corner. Ryan Othout now behind the net. Othout pass it back here to Schmidgall. Schmidgall walks it in, fires a shot high. That didn't miss by much. Toma able to keep it in low now. It's in the skates there, Mason Othout, and it's sent all the way down. They'll say it was tipped, no icing. 10-10 to go here in the third, tied at 2. Puck played around here by Young now. Intercepted back the other way now. For Therms with a shot save made there by Collis. And that's the 23rd save for Collis tonight. Hoven his counterpart with 28 saves tonight. 2 apiece. Inside of 10 to go in this one. That's center ice now. Moved up by the Cardinals. Big hit there between Young and Gunnerman. Back to get it now is Gimbel up along the wall. Sends it out in front. The shot just wide there by Gunnerman as he got the pass from behind the net there by Therm. And this will go up and out of play with 9:23 to go here in the third, tied at 2. And the Tide switching a little bit, but what I was going to say is that first line of the Flyers seems to be dominating, can dominate, but they haven't really put it together.
Yeah, they're just not getting any scoring opportunities. They're possessing the puck in the zone. You know, shots are getting blocked from the point, and they're getting the puck back, but they're just not getting anything to the net.
Shot from the point. That one goes wide. Now comes out in the slot there, and that goes off the side of the net. Played to the line, but not out. Lace able to keep it in, and a save there by Collis as that was looking for the back of the net. Knocked down here, but just a partial breakaway here for Walensky. Walensky comes in, and a save by Hoven as Harquist did everything he could to not have a penalty and maybe cause just enough havoc there so Walensky couldn't get a good shot.
It was a great play by Harquist not to reach that other arm around. That's where that holding penalty comes in usually.
They're coming across now is Othout. Othout shoots, he scores! And Ryan Othout has regained the lead for the Flyers at 3-2. And like I said, that line seemed to has enough. And finally, they're able to get the second one in tonight.
It was a great job by Ryan Othout here. I think it's Remy that has the pinch at the point, gets it up. Joey ties up the defenseman, and Ryan comes across the grain, goes back low glove, where he put the first one tonight.
17th of the season for Ryan Othout. And has given the Flyers a 3-2 lead with 8:38 to go. And Ryan Othout with a couple of points tonight.
Number 22, Ryan Othout. Assist to number 19, Mason Olthout. Time of the goal, 8:22.
So Mason Olthout will get the lone assist on that. Puck played back to the line. Shot taken, knocked down here by Gendro. And we'll send it out to center ice. Cardinals regroup, come across the line. Quick shot there, the pad save, rebound is loose. That coming off there of Bergman. And back out to neutral ice it comes. So 2 goals for Ryan Olthout, goals 16 and 17 of the season, goals 35 and 36 of his career. Here's Tyler Schmigdahl, and that goes up and out of play. And with those 2 points tonight for Ryan Olthout, he now has 89 points. And he's trying.
He's on the watch.
He's trying to see if he can become the 27th member of the 100-point club and join you, Wesley.
You always wish more guys can get on that list, and Ryan would be a great addition to that.
Well, it'd be really cool if you get 3 guys on there this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Joey Walensky, Luke Avery that played 4 seasons. Ryan, this is just his 3rd. Shot on net, save made, rebound is loose. As that shot came from Avery, and Hoven couldn't handle the whole puck. He only got partial of it, but nobody was around there for the Flyers to hammer it home. Held in at the line here by Chisholm, now picked up here by Harquist. He'll throw it off the board, trying to get it back to himself, but Avery is there with 7:20 to go in the contest. And this will be icing coming up here against Little Falls. Shots, go ahead.
You really wish Avery would have held on to that one and not just thrown that puck. Really don't want to face off in your zone at this point.
Now 7:16 to go here in the 3rd. Shots 32-17 favor the Flyers. They lead on the scoreboard 3-2. The positive thing, they gave up 2 goals, but they were able to regain the lead again.
Yes.
That's the positive thing. Flyers need to get another one. This line, I think, could maybe put one in again. Joey Walensky possibly, huh? Here's Walensky coming in hard. Behind that, Chisholm. Now Ryan Olthout in the corner. Lace with it. Puck taken away there by Olthout for a short time. And it's Chisholm now, sending it over to Walensky in the circle. Back now to Avery. Back to Walensky. Down low now here to Olthout. Back over to Avery, and a quick shot there off the back wall. Walensky now in the corner, and that'll come out to center ice. Flyers will have to touch up, and that's going to be an icing. That should be, yes, it is. And it'll give the Flyers an opportunity to have an offensive faceoff here with 6:33 to go in the 3rd with a 1-goal lead. Not the thing the Cardinals wanted to do there.
Yeah, especially when you got a guy kind of alone at the far blue line.
Once again,
Ryan's
here's the
goal.
shot in a goal. Almost the same goal that he had in the first period, but he just didn't get the water bottle this time.
Yeah.
As he found a weakness there in Gavin Hoven. And found it twice so far tonight. Coming across the line now. This is Schlosser. In the corner, Toma to Young. And out to center ice. Down to 6 minutes to go in this contest. And the Flyers hanging on right now to a 3-2 lead. Trying to look for their 12th win of the season and break the 2-game losing streak and end the week and the month on a win. Shot towards the netminder. Collis makes the save there. Outlet there by Majurley, just out of the reach of Young. Picked back up here now by Bergman. Bergman with a high shot and sticking the glove out there and making the save is Collis. And he'll get a face-off here with 5:42 to go here in the 3rd. Flyers, they're back on the road. As next week, they'll be on the road 2 of 3 games. On Tuesday, they're in Alexandria. On Saturday, they're in Cambridge. And on Thursday, they'll be back here against the Lakers of Detroit Lakes. That'll be our next broadcast here on FMP. So another week of 3 more games, and then after that, it kind of calms down a little bit as you only got the game on a Tuesday. The following week against Northern Lakes and up north. And then you've got a week off before the first round of the playoffs, which will be on the 18th of February.
Hopefully that game will be here on the 18th.
Yeah. Well, I think a win tonight here would definitely help that cause.
Yes.
Beating an opportunity to beat a top 15 team in the state, rebounding from a couple of losses this week. And, of course, the loss to St. Cloud Cathedral, not to shake your head on. I mean, it was an overtime loss.
Yeah, that's a tough game, and They gave Cathedral everything they could handle to take it into overtime. So you got to take that into perspective too. And when you're looking at the matchups here and the seeding section, you got to take that into perspective. They beat Cathedral and then taking them to overtime.
Next week you've got River Lakes taking on Pine City next Tuesday. That's a huge game.
A big one.
That if Pine City would win that game, boy, that would cause all sorts of havoc. If River Lakes wins that game, I think the Flyers are at least secure, no worse than a 4.
Yes, I agree with that.
Out at center ice, this is Walensky. And a 4 means that you get one home game at least.
Yep. And
then you go on the road and you play the number 1 seed. And right now it's setting up that way to be Cathedral. And they've beaten Cathedral at St. Cloud before. Here's Avery with a shot and a golden opportunity. And it looked like at the last second, one of the Luverne defensemen got a stick on it.
Yeah, just got deflected at the last minute as Luke was firing that puck.
And watch it here as the shot was taken and
right off number 2.
Yep, getting a piece of that one was Jackson Lace. So under 5 to go. Flyers lead by 1 at 3-2. Chisholm will play it in the corner. Mason Othout. He's got a couple assists tonight. We'll talk with Mason Othout coming up on Tuesday. And Joey Walensky a little bit shaken up.
Got tied up there with.
He kind of went down awkwardly. His helmet actually kind of came up over his chin a little bit as he was laying on his back.
Yeah.
It looks like he's okay. Avery trying to keep it in. Plays it down here to Othout. Ryan Othout in the corner. Othout bumped off the puck there by Harquist. Harquist a good defenseman, just a sophomore. He's got 38 points, but he's also solid in the defensive end. Here is Othout looking for the hat trick, and that one missed wide. And back the other way, Damagala coming in now, right wing side. Damagala with a shot, and actually it was a shot taken behind there by Sauer. And the save made by Collis. Back the other way. Ryan Othout trying to slide it down. Avery threw it right to the stick of Sauer. And Sauer will play it out to center ice. And hand pass with 3:52 to go here in the third. And the 1-goal lead. Shots almost evening up now, 32-30. As Isaac Collis with 28 saves, Gavin Hoven with 30. And the faceoff will come down into the Flyers zone as the Flyers the guilty party of the hand pass. Young going to square it off there with Schlosser. Played into the corner, picked up here by Majerle. Back on the tape of Harquist. Over here to Lace. Back to Harquist. Tipped at the line. Tyler Schmidgall now has to go back after it. Played ahead there by Schlosser. Held in at the right point by Lace. Schlosser now gets it on the tape here. And a quick shot there. Save made. Rebound was loose to the side of the net. That coming off the stick of Bork. And out to center ice it comes. Picked up here by Alex Toma. Toma got a couple slashes. Still comes in. Here's Toma with an opportunity that goes off the skate of Lace into the corner. Now in the corner. Back to the half wall. It's Bork out to center. Moves it ahead here to Bergman. Bergman, he overskated it. Drops it back to Bork, though, and that one deflects into the corner. Inside of 3 to go. We'll start watching to our right here when Hoven will be exiting the net. I'm guessing they'll probably do it sometime under 2 minutes as we're at 2:45. Chisholm back at his own line. Moves it ahead. Stick down here by Mason Othout, trying to get it over to Ryan. Ryan now passes it back in the slot, but the only player there is Forthorns, and it'll be played back in. All the way down, this will help the Flyers, and icing coming up here on the Cardinals with 2:21, and you got to wonder, too, what head coach maybe for the Luverne Cardinals will want to do in that being Tony Sandbolt. If he wants to call a timeout here or not yet. Of course, you don't have it. It's in your zone, so you probably don't want to do that. But you might want to rest some guys, too. And coming in, Hoven tried to get that as a swatted out of the air there by Avery, and then an opportunity by Walensky, and I don't know how that didn't go into the net. Another icing coming up.
The Luverne guy was tied up with his own goalie when Mason Olthow took the shot. It must have hit somebody in the breezers or something.
Well, you see here that Luke Avery takes kind of a whack at it, and it comes across, and then
Right
it
here.
comes back out, and the shot taken there by Walensky.
I think that was Mason, wasn't it?
Was that Mason?
I think it was Mason.
Okay. Here is Mason Olthout. Olthout now in the corner. Plays it back to Chisholm. Over to Ryan Olthout. Down low to Walensky, but he couldn't turn around. 1:50 to go. And let's see, netminder Hoven's still in the net. Down to 1:45, and I'm sure that the Cardinals would love to get an offensive zone faceoff, call a timeout, and set things up. 1:35 to go. No icing here as it was tipped. And all the way back down to the Cardinals zone. Lace now up to Harquist. Hoven looks, still looking, and now he's going. As he comes to the net, the extra attacker is on. And the net is wide open, and here is Remy Chisholm. Gets it up to Young. Young now comes across the line. Passes it over to Gendro. He shoots. He scores! What a selfless play there. Great job. As getting it over there was Derek Young to Gendro for the goal.
That was a great play by Remy, getting the puck up, getting it to Young. Young works through a couple of slashes there, gets it over to Gendro. Gendro buries it. He got lucky there.
Yeah, it actually hit off
deflected off of the Luverne guy and went into the top corner.
Well, once again, the teammates working together there. And Gendro getting the goal. For Gendro, it's his 10th of the season. And we've got a timeout here, too. So time of the goal coming at 15:50 of the period. And Luverne is going to take the timeout.
Lucas Gendro, assist to number 13, Derek Young.
Young will get the assist. And the goal by Gendro. As I mentioned, his 10th of the year for number 10. His 14th career goal for the senior, Lucas Gendro, which last night had a great game too with a goal and some assists.
They're getting some scoring out of that line. Early in the year, they had a lot of chances. They just couldn't capitalize. And I thought, once they break the seal, they're going to get a couple more. And the last two nights has been very successful for them.
So 1:10 to go here. And the 2-goal lead. And of course, you win the face-off here, the Cardinals. You got to pull the goalie, or do you just have the goalie out right away? What do you do?
I think you leave the goalie in until you get possession, and then you got to go.
For the Flyers, trying to break that 2-game losing streak, and this would be a nice win for Little Falls to end January.
Yes, it would. It ends at 13 games they had in January. So, and then you get the long weekend, and then you got a big matchup against Alexandria on Tuesday.
Yeah,
at 4:30.
Yeah, I know it's. I don't
comes
know.
quick.
I know a lot of people probably don't know about that, but there will be a 4:30 game. That's because there'll be a girls' game. The seeds come out tomorrow for the girls. Looks like Brainerd Little Falls probably is either going to Rosa or Moorhead is what it sounds like. And it'll be Alexandria playing at the Runestone, probably a 7 and 7:30 game there. So that's why the varsity game will be played at 4:30. The JV game will follow at 6:30 in one of the different rinks. As we're under a minute to go now, once again, Hoven coming to the bench. And maybe trying to get a hat trick here will be Ryan Olthout as he just sees that net's wide open. He couldn't get a shot off. Played back out to center. Moved ahead here. Damagala, right wing side. Damagala with a blast. Save made there by Collis. Back to the line it comes. Lace plays it down low. Avery's going to send it around. This is going to be an icing. And we're down to no icing as they wave it off. Too much Exchange Arena snow out there. Played across the line. That would have been a delayed offside, but the play continues on. Down to the final 12 seconds. And Wesley, you must be the good luck charm.
Yeah, it must be.
As you're 1-0-1 as a color commentator this year.
We'll take it.
Absolutely. As we're down to the final second, goes off the side of the net. That's the horn. And the Little Falls Flyers come up with an impressive home victory as they win by a final score of 4-2. Your comments about this one, we'll get a chance to talk with Joey here in just a minute.
I think I talked about in the pregame. They're going to play simple. They're going to play hard, and I think that's what Joey got out of the guys today. They were very, very good on the forecheck. For the majority of the game, you give up two in the middle half of the game here, but they answer back and get that third one, and then get that empty netter by Gendro.
So with the win, Little Falls is going to pick up their 12th win of the season. And they'll also get back in the win column, which is very important for the Little Falls Flyers, as they will now have 3 more games next week, as we talked about, and they'll be on the road for 2 of those 3. And by the way, both those 2 games will be on, the road games will be on radio, on Q92, and also on fallsradio.com. So your final score in this one, again, it was Little Falls with the 4-2 win. Earlier tonight, the junior varsity team won by a score of 7-1. So a nice sweep for the JV and the varsity in this one tonight. Luverne will be back in action tomorrow. They've got an afternoon game as they'll go up to Breezy Point, and they will take on the Lightning of Northern Lakes, which the Flyers will have a game with them coming up in about a week and a half from now. That'll be the final game of the regular season. We'll have a look at the goals here in just a little bit, as head coach Joey Hanowski going to climb the ladder and join us up here for the post-game interview with him, and should be a little bit happier about this one, I believe.
I'm sure he will.
Here comes Coach, and we'll have him join us. Thanks for joining me, and congratulations on the victory today. And I know it's been a long January, but it's nice to end January with a W. It's been a tough week this week, too, but nice to end with a win against a very good Luverne team.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of nailed it there. It was a tough week for us in the section, and kids found a way to win. Luverne's a great hockey team, and we stepped up tonight.
The one thing, you jumped out to a 1-0 lead, got the 2-0 lead, and then gave up the 2-0 lead. What was going through your mind after the second period, especially when you had that same thing happen to you last night 3 times?
Yeah, that's kind of been our MO this week, and we just told our guys, good teams, when you get up 2-0, they smell blood in the water and they finish the team. And Luverne's a good team, but we have a habit right now of getting 2-0 in a game, and then all of a sudden we just take our foot off the pedal a little bit.
Joey, in your pregame, you mentioned you guys wanted to be kind of simple, fast, hard, be physical on the forecheck. Did you think you guys kind of met that expectation today?
Yes and no. I thought we did it really well in the first period right away. I think they were a little surprised by our speed. And then we kind of went away with it. We told our guys, get pucks to the net and crash. We scored the second goal, and then we kind of went away with it. So bits and pieces were good, and like I said, 13 games in January, it's been a grind, and our kids found a way to win and end January the right way.
The one question I do have is, can your kids sustain a 51-minute going hard the whole time, or is there going to be some let-ups here and there? I mean, ultimately, you'd love to have these kids play at the full potential all the time. I know it's hard as a coach to get that out of the kids, but do these kids have that potential to do that?
Yeah, and there's not going to be a perfect 51 minutes. You just got to have that mentality that you're going to do it. For sure, we're going to have some minutes in the game that you're going to struggle with, but it's just the mentality, right? We kept telling them, why are we letting guys get behind us? Why are we letting guys get behind us? So it's just, we got to turn our brains on a little bit.
The other thing, Collis played phenomenal tonight. So their second goal, did you have any issue with that, him sliding over? And I think Domagala was the one that actually made contact with him. Do you have any issue with that?
I was more annoyed with our kids on that whole situation than I was at the It's a tough play. Schmiggy's in there, so you don't know if he's pushing him into Callis. It was a tough play. It wasn't like the kid didn't have someone on him and just, put his stick between his legs and got him out of the way. But, yeah, I was more annoyed with our kill on that one.
Yeah. Well, Isaac Collis bounced back with a 30-save night, and we're going to show that play right here. And I think Collis, he slid over himself. I don't think really anybody did anything on that. So, to me, it was him just sliding over, getting out of position, and they were able to score.
Yeah, I think he just kind of overcommitted on it a little bit. But, again, it's us. It was our kill a little bit, and that's the frustrating part. I was more mad at our kids, so I didn't even bother asking the rest.
Yeah.
Well, overall, January was positive, 8 wins, 4 losses, and a tie.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna go love up our kids here a little bit, and it's been a good month. Overall, it's been a really good month. Again, unfortunate what happened on Tuesday and Thursday for us, but we did beat Cathedral this month, right? We had some really nice wins in the month of January. We had a tough schedule. I think in the 4 years I've been here, this is the toughest schedule we've had. We beat another ranked team again tonight. So I'm not going to be too hard on them. We've done a lot of good things. We just have to have the mentality in playoffs. When you get up on a team, you got to put them away.
Yeah, I think this win tonight will help you big time come the seeding. It's another one that you can hang your hat on, along with, I think, the Rockridge win and some other win. Obviously, beating Cathedral once, too. That'll definitely help. So I'm pretty confident. Of course, you never know. It's coaches voting. So, but I'm pretty confident that you guys, as long as you stay the pace here for the remaining 4 games, which aren't going to be easy. You've got Alex, you've got DL, which are 2 very good teams. Cambridge, I know, can play. They've got a goaltender that's played 4+ years there. And then, of course, your last game against Mike Randolph in Northern Lakes to end the season. But I think you've got a good chance of being a 4 seed at least. And I don't know if the 3 seed's a potential, but you at least want to get 1 home game.
Yeah, right now, excuse me. Right now we're just worried about us. Again, we lost last night. The beautiful thing that we have 2.5 weeks to kind of get ourselves going here a little bit. And again, we haven't really had a structured week of practice and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to giving our kids 2 days off here, Saturday, Sunday. Our coaches and stuff, we just kind of got to recharge here and reset. Got another busy week next week, and then we get Northern Lakes on Tuesday, and then we get a week off. So, again, it's kind of nice that we've got these 4 games left just to worry about. There's no section implications anymore for us. We buried ourselves there, but we got 4 games to get ourselves right to wherever we go, whether it's here or on the road, we'll go anywhere.
Tell you what, if I'm any of the opponents in Section 5A, I'm not wanting to see Little Falls on the other side when it comes to a game.
No, and I really think if you guys can establish the consistency that you guys have shown, through the beginning half of periods, I think you guys are going to be trouble for anybody in the section.
Yeah, it's fun to watch when we move our feet. It's just we're not doing it all the time. And, again, you're not going to be perfect for 51 minutes, but we got to be a little bit more perfect than we are right now.
All right, Coach, enjoy some family time this weekend and then get back at it on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for everyone. We had a great crowd here tonight. Shout out to my wife, and hopefully Trey's sleeping, and everyone have a great night.
All right, once again, that is the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski, getting his 12th win of the season. And I think it's a very important win, obviously, with the week that they had, Wesley, and, a bounce here, bounce there in the first game of the week against Cathedral, and we might be talking bookends maybe,
yeah.
or maybe even after that win, the confidence is even flowing even more, and things are going. You just never know. But to have those 2 losses and to come in here and to get a win, to get back in the win column is huge.
Yeah, and that's the game of hockey, right? Like, it doesn't. On paper you can do your comparisons and this team is ranked here and this team's ranked there. The 25 games, I had a conversation earlier with somebody, the 25 games, that these high school kids are playing, they don't really mean that much when you think about it, right? It's the last 3 at the end of the year. And we've seen it, teams at the state tournament that have, 5-6 wins because they get hot at the right time, or, their goalie gets hot at the right time and they get the right bounces in the section games. And, it's the game of hockey where the team that makes the fewest mistakes are going to win, and sometimes that's not always the best team on the ice.
You personally dealt with that. You guys were undefeated going into that section final, and you had to squeak it out in overtime for the 3rd time against Alexandria by scoring a goal.
Yeah, and Alexandria was a good team. Like you look at their roster, and they had some good players, but the puck bounces go certain ways on certain nights, and you can't control that. And I think the loss yesterday is kind of one of those things. Some of that's effort, some of that's just unfortunate things, right? Goals scored from spots that they don't normally get scored from on your goaltender, or someone having a costly turnover. So those things all happen. It's just how many times can we minimize those things from actually benefiting from our mistakes.
Absolutely. All right, let's run down the goals here very quickly as we'll wrap things up here. Once again, Flyers win this one 4-2. They jump down the board first. 6:43 of the period as Ryan Othout gets his first of the night, his 16th of the season. Mason Othout and Luke Avery get the assists. And once again, that first goal and the next goal that he had also almost the same spot.
Same spot, just underneath that glove, kind of through the 6-hole, we like to call it, underneath the arm.
There's a 6-hole?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's so many different numbers you can count if you're forward with a shooting tutor. But yeah, it's a great shot. It's low. You know, it's those are the shots where if he misses and the goalie makes a save, you're going to get a rebound.
So 1-0 Flyers led after one. Second period, minute 26 in. Joey Walensky gets on the scoreboard, gets his 13th of the season. Mason Othout and Remy Chisholm. It was Mason Othout with the original shot. And when the shots are on net, things happen.
Yep.
And that's exactly what happened as Joey Walensky in the right spot, right time.
And you heard Coach Janowski talk about, hey, let's start crashing the net, right? Well, good shot by Mason. Nice low shot. He's not trying to go for the upper corner. Rebound comes out, and Joey Walensky's crashing the net, picking it up.
So a 2-0 lead for the Flyers. However, they could not hold on to that 2-0 lead. At 12:31 of the period, it was the first goal for the Cardinals. This one was scored by the defenseman Sage Wiesman, and we think that it might have went off the skate of Joey Walensky. So Wiesman picks up the goal, his second of the year. Landon Lace and Lakin Miller get the assists and make it 2-1.
That's one of those unfortunate bounces, right? It just goes off Joey's skate the wrong way, changes the deflection of that puck, and it kind of sneaks past Collis through the 5-hole.
So it's 2-1 going into period number 3. There's only 2 penalties in this game, and this time it was a penalty against the Flyers. They're in the box, and who scores? The Cardinals on a power play. And that power play goal, the 20th of the season for Landon Lace. As we see here off the draw, Lace actually is the one that made the original draw. And then the shot came, the rebound, as you see the netminder Collis, he really committed himself from one post to the other, got out of position, and an easy pretty much goal there for Lace as he gets his 20th of the year.
Yeah, watching that again, you got a couple Flyers guys just kind of puck watching, thinking Collis is going to get it, ends up just over-committing, and then you got 2 Luverne guys on the strong side of the net just waiting for their rebound.
Cisco to Blake Sauer, and the second one went to Maddox Demagala. So it's 2-2, and you're thinking, oh boy, we see this same thing we did last night 3 times, but this time the Flyers were able to rebound and get a goal about 3 minutes after at 8:22 of the period. It's the second goal of the night, 17th of the season for Ryan Othout, as Mason Othout gets the assist as here comes Ryan in. Almost the same goal as he did in the first period.
Yeah, he comes across the grain there and takes a nice low shot again, looking for that same spot he hit in the first, and he got it.
So once again, it reads Ryan Othout from Mason Othout, 17th of the season, makes it 3-2. And the final goal, an empty net goal, as the Cardinals pulled their netminder, and a great tic-tac pass as it was Derek Young bringing it in. He knew he had all guys all over him, saw a wide open Gendro, passed it over to him, and Gendro just able to sneak it in there as it actually looked like it went off one of the sticks of the Cardinals.
Yeah, it was a great job by Derek Young through the neutral zone, having to battle through some stick work. You know, that shows toughness, like kind of grit. You know, that grit to get through the neutral zone and then find Gendro on the back door, and Gendro does just barely sneak it in there.
So an empty netter, 10th of the season for Lucas Gendro, and the lone assist goes to Derek Young. Your final score in this one was 4-2. Shots in the third period for the Little Falls Flyers. They had 7 for a game total of 33. On the other side for Luverne, they had 14 for a game total of 32. Save-wise in this one for the Luverne Cardinals, Hoven in the net as he had came out for the empty netter. So for him tonight, he had a total of 28 saves out of 31 shots. Or check that, he had 29 saves out of 32 shots. And for Isaac Collis, he had 30 saves out of 32 shots. With the win, the Little Falls Flyers improved their record to 12-7-2. For the Luverne Cardinals, they dropped their record to 16-3-1. Up next for the Luverne Cardinals, they'll travel up tomorrow to Breezy Point. They will take on the Lightning of Northern Lakes. That's a 2 o'clock game. Up next for the Flyers, they will travel on Tuesday over to Alexandria to take on the Cardinals. That will be a 4:30 game at the Runestone. That game will be available on Q92 WYRQ and also on fallsradio.com. Final comments.
I thought we had a good hockey game. You had to see 2 ranked teams play and battle it out, and we got everything we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, great game for both teams, and a nice bounce-back win for the Flyers, and hopefully that propels them into February. And,
Yes.
of course, we want to go deep into February and
Yes.
maybe even have a
We'd
twinkling
like to see
of
early March.
We
We'd
would
like to see
do
early
that.
March.
Absolutely. Wesley, great job.
Thank you so much.
And, of course, we'll have you on board here for all the playoffs. As
Yes.
I love having the 3-team. I think it works out great,
Yeah.
especially you give us the opinion on the coaching side, the ref side.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully we'll have some home games here so we can do it on FMP too. Regardless, you'll be on the radio with us too.
Yes.
So thanks for joining us for that. And hopefully you'll join me maybe for Cambridge next week
Yeah,
too.
I'm planning on
And
it.
I think that's the game plan
Yeah.
too. Special thanks, as you see, Karen Warner, Mark Deal, all the students behind the scenes that made this possible. We thank them too. It's hard to believe, but we only have one more regular season
know.
game here
I
at
know.
the Exchange Arena, and that's next Thursday against DL.
It went fast. It went quick.
It did go very fast. Once again, your final score on this one tonight: Little Falls 4, Luverne 2 for Wesley Witashik. For the entire crew of FMP, I'm James Hershey saying good night from the Exchange Arena in Little Falls.